landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Can you hear the train that just started going by? I don't know, probably not. I don't think the microphone is set up for that. Speaking of, I really have not committed the time to getting the stream things that I need to get. Choo choo. Amen to that, Sarah. So I was about to start ranting, and I was like, you know what? If I get started, it's just gonna get going. So I should probably record. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a really short stream for YouTube. I don't actually think that this will run full stream length tonight, and I'll be honest that if that is true, that is probably just a short stream because it's been. We do hear the train. That's probably not good, but okay, that's fine. It's not a real issue. I'm having not a particularly good week. The last 2 days especially have been really rough. And I've complained a number of times in the past about the reality that there's 2 times each year that work is essentially always bad, the job I currently have. It's some weird combination of human nature and inability of people to plan. So at the start of the year and at the halfway mark of the year, which roughly coincides with the 4th of July, which in turn roughly coincides with my birthday, these are the key times that the people in my company's like sales department decide to like start a really high percentage of their contracts. Like we have like a new. Oh, I see. I confused myself because I was looking at something I didn't think was in frame. Some of the little advent calendar guys. I've been putting them on the desk in here. Why? I don't have a good place to put them is the only answer I have to that. This guy was from Sunday or Monday? A few days ago. He can live here if he can stand up. You can't really see that. None of this matters. So the point is that like there are 2 times I expect work to be bad, and it's those are 2 incredibly inconvenient times for work to consistently be bad. Because one is my birthday, and normally my family and I will like plan some sort of summer vacation around then, because there's the 4th of July holiday right adjacent to then, and it's like a little bit easier to plan the consecutive time. It works out relatively nicely. And the other is because it's right after like all the holidays, so like it sucks for that to be true, to come back to just like an incredible massive influx of work. Now roughly every year there's some new project, especially at the start of the year. They really like to do that, and like those don't tend to like hit such a large number of stations that it's anything more than the average level of nuisance of just new services that need to be confirmed starting at the start of the year. This year something different has happened. Basically, instead of a new service starting from scratch, there's a service that has like a pretty relatively wide user base that we're taking over from another company. The main issue there is that like because it's not a new thing, it's not like a modest number of like affected stations where people are like, that sounds interesting, maybe I'll try it, but like it's not tested, so it's not like all in deep end of the pool. It's kind of a lot, and from what I understand, there's like some behind the scenes jargon of like the people we're taking it over from haven't provided very clear or thorough paperwork as to what we're covering or what those stations are obligated to do. And they've kind of left that up to, you guess it, me, and like the other people in my department doing my job, but like us at our level, and we should not be responsible for that. That doesn't make any sense. And I honestly don't know how this is going to play out for January. In the long run, this might turn out okay and just ruin my December, which could be okay. None of it is good, but so, normally the sort of thing would wait for January is like, the starts would normally we're only confirming a start about a week in advance. It's really, really uncommon to try and reach out earlier than that. The people that we interact with at the stations just aren't that well informed, and frankly, there's not much for them to do until the week beforehand. So like, it doesn't tend to be super useful to be like, hey, in like a month, something changes for you. You gotta remember that for 4 weeks. Like, no, it just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. But like, because of the like sweeping nature of this thing that's happening, and I'm pretty sure from some pressure like super high up, like above my boss's boss level, um like the head of my department is like really obviously stressed about this, and like her signature move is to like be completely nonchalant about all things unless it's like a real problem. A stark contrast to me, who's upset by all things all the time. So like, the fact that she's been very apparently stressed about this since like before Thanksgiving, and like urging people to like contact these stations, not a good sign. And as I mean, like, it's been a struggle, right? Because I've mentioned that I like had this extra vacation time to burn, and that like I was trying to dole it out judiciously to like spread things out, but still make use of the benefit that I'm sort of owed. That like under my new situation in Florida, like vanishes at the end of the year. But like, it has meant that like I'm always like a little bit behind where I want to be in terms of just my like regular work of like keeping people's like compliance paperwork up to snuff, which is already like a constant struggle just by its nature. It's just always ongoing. You're never on top of all of it. It's not humanly possible. So like, that's been going on leading up to this point in time where like I'm trying like what's essentially happening is that like I'm trying to catch up on like late November, early December work because of a couple days off and the Thanksgiving holiday sort of combined. And I'm also trying to do January's work of confirming this like big start project. And like, in addition to that, like there's just whatever I should be doing today. So I'm kind of doing 3 months worth of work all the time. As you may imagine, that's not you're not going to get a lot done at that rate. Like, you will not accomplish a lot trying to do all of that at once. Like, I'm doing all of those things, but the amount of progression I'm making towards completing those things is like essentially negligible. And on top of that, it's Friday, December 13th, 2024, and I don't have to look at the calendar in the corner of the PC to double check that because it's obviously Friday the 13th. In addition to all this going on, someone somewhere in our company deleted like a JPEG and it broke our email server. I don't know if that's possible, but this is more or less what I was told. Essentially, like, the email server was goofed up for like our entire department and an untold percentage of the company beyond that. But I know that our department uses email very heavily throughout the day. It is the vast majority of what I do, in addition to some phone calls. Yeah, apparently like someone deleted some like image file of some description, and now like for the entire day, like every single email client attached to that hit some like incredible snag as a result, and like was constantly struggling to like load any window or function or feature at any point throughout the day, including and not limited to the fact that it wasn't notifying me that I was getting emails. Like, normally you get the little pop-up in the corner using Outlook and like a little chime if you have that set up, and like if I'm involved in another task, that lets me know that I have something to check on. And that was not working for like 3 hours, and there was a point where like suddenly I had like 11 emails in my inbox. I'm like, how is that remotely possible? And then the discovery happened. Yeah, there's been like way too much of people emailing me. Like normally I would describe my job as outbox in the sense that it's more important that I have sent out information for people to do their thing than it is for me to take input from stations. It happens regularly, but normally outbox, that's the main thing going on. I've been like 50-50 inbox outbox for like most of this week, which is really irritating. I mean, there's nothing to be done about that other than to try and address the problems, but it's like if you all could like I work really hard to help you all manage your problems. If you could just take this like 3 week period to just be adults and like manage your own stuff, I would absolutely adore it. But like instead I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum where like literally I have like more than one instance of like station just needs to submit one document, like 1 week's worth of information. And I have been contacting them for like approaching like 3 weeks and they refuse to submit the singular document. And that's actually considerably more annoying than just being outright negligent and doing nothing. Because like when you do nothing, then I can like send you off to like the enforcers, just like make it someone else's problem. I can just be like, look at how bad they are. Obviously this is a problem and I have other stuff to do. It's your turn, tag. But like when it's like one, it remains my problem forever. It's like a worst case scenario to have like one document that I need from like October 14th that like I am responsible for obtaining, and there's only so many ways that I can like threaten someone with no impact or like annoy them by calling their phone that they clearly ignore. So I'm doing pretty bad. This is like the worst December I've had in about a decade. I think it was about 10 years ago that like I had that really dreadful. I think it was the same year that like while I was trying to like do some early Christmas shopping around Thanksgiving and I had to like take a business call in the passenger seat of my mom's car because my like crappy startup job that I had like basically zero redundancy, and like my boss was from Australia and like I want to say he like didn't entirely respect American holidays. I think it's just that he was like a startup entrepreneur and just wanted everyone to like work all the time and not have to like, you know, compensate people necessarily fairly for the amount of work required in a startup. But like I think like that was the same year. It might have been like plus or minus 1 year, but like there was a point when like that same crappy startup job had like it got a spin-off. Like there was like a downturn in like the explainer video industry, which is what I was working in. Like managing animation projects with like offsite animators and coordinating them to meet deadlines and stuff. But like there was like at least like half a year, probably close to a year, where like I was working for this absolutely ethically shady startup company that was like these like handshake deals where like they would send a bunch of free products to people through Amazon using like coupon code shenanigans in exchange for positive reviews. Like it was, I hated work. It was so shady. And in addition to it being shady, it was also just like an extremely bad job of like, I had to do like much more menial work under a lot of time pressure. And it was like the responsibility of the sales staff at that venture to like provide me the information necessary to meet these intense deadlines. And they like weren't doing it. And it like in particular, there was one guy who just like never ever did it and would like always blame it on this like person who was like working off site like part-time, like backing me up or whatever. And then eventually he got fired for sexual misconduct. And then they reviewed his like work email account and found that he just like never did any of the stuff that he claimed he did, and just left me to suffer for a while. So I didn't feel so bad about being the one to call him out for the thing that got him fired. Hi Jakey. Also hi Kronos and everyone. Hi everyone. I'm just commiserating about how bad my work situation is, and now I'm on bad lifetime work rant. The only other thing I'll say is there was definitely, in addition to those, and maybe this was the Christmas that coincided with the Black Friday snafu, was there was like a year where like, as like my family was like going to Christmas mass like on Christmas Eve, like I was like taking work emails. They were just like, well, like it's super important that this just get done now, and I'm like, it's like Christmas Eve. I'm like literally like in a suit. Can we not? And it's just like, nah, because we don't respect you as a person or whatever. So like, yeah, the fact that like we're at the asymptote of like those were the pits, and like this season is like approaching it. I am struggling very badly. Happy holidays. Literal Bob Cratchit Scrooge moment. No, I had one of those. I've talked about that one more recently. At the tail end of that startup job, it got bought by a pair of women who like went on to work on this big project for the National Endowment of the Arts that like got them famous, but like they wanted to have like a entertainment industry tangential passive income, so they bought the starter, the explainer video startup, which I think was a bill of goods. I think the company was like on the downswing and whatever. I'll spare you that. But late in that era, one of the two women who ran the company briefly tried to enforce that because Christmas was on a Sunday, that we would not get a holiday observed for that, which is, I don't know if that applies in all countries, but for my entire lifetime in the United States, it's the case that like if a national federal holiday is on a weekend, then you observe it on like the closest business day. And like they it wasn't just sort of like, we didn't just like float it and then realize it was stupid and go back on it. Like we said it, and then I was like, you don't mean that. And that's not a question. What I'm saying to you is, you don't mean that. And like they kind of stood their ground for a bit, and then I was like sitting there for about 20 minutes being like, what is the way in which I resign from this job that's already not good? And then like eventually the other boss, who ironically was Jewish, convinced her that we should observe Christmas like, you know, like it is federally mandated or whatever. Dark times. Hey, you know what's not dark times? Well, it's currently literally dark because it's been on idle while I've ranted. Sam and Max. Actually, also most of Sam and Max is like really dark because the stakes are always needlessly high. Look, the point is that we made a transition and we've committed to it. How's everyone doing? Are you doing better at your holiday shopping than me? Say yes, because you don't want to be doing worse than me. I was going to go out yesterday, and then I felt physically ill from the intensity of my work. My current work situation is so bad, and I promise I'll stop talking about this, but it is so bad I am legitimately thinking of just doing unpaid work all of Sunday, just for sanity reasons. That's where we're at. It's not good. Gift shopping is like the one thing you've done. I mean, that's like an important one considering the time constraints. I don't know what all collectively you're including in the things you're not getting done, but that seems like a good one, Sarah. So, Sam and Max, where are we at? Well, that's kind of a ridiculous question because we finished playing all the games a little while ago. But as of last Saturday, I was like, you know what? It can't be that hard to get all the achievements slash trophies slash the platinum trophy for Sam & Max. It's a point-and-click adventure game. And then we got about halfway through that list, and I realized, oh no, one of these says you have to be good at like all the mini games, and I'm not good at them. And so we worked for a really long time. I do encourage you to check out the first part of this series. I imagine that the quest for the kitchen sink might be the single most interesting thing to do, but we've got a little more left to accomplish. Currently making a pillow, which is your last gift. Something you're not doing is sleeping. Oh, that's kind of funny too. One of my friends slash like former coworkers texted me this morning, like fairly early this morning, and was like, "Hey Vasco, I just need you to know that I finally watched Back to the Future 3." And it is important to note that this friend and I have bonded over like an esteem and appreciation for Back to the Future. To like a degree that is well beyond the normal appreciation that I think the majority of film goers who have seen it have shared. And so I was like, I need to clarify. Do you mean that like you were watching through all of them and you finally got around to watching the third one? Or that somehow you had never seen Back to the Future 3 before? And she was like, the second one. And I was like, how is that possible? And she's like, I know, but I need you to know right away. And I felt like I couldn't text you at like 11 at night your time. And I was like, well, you could. Regrettably. And that's what reminded me of that. Hey, speaking of Back to the Future, okay, this resubs at 88 months per subscription. And says Santa's Toy Factory is behind on production this year. He has no one but his elf to blame. Very good. 88 is a good number of months. Anyway, so Sam & Max. We have gotten all the trophies from Sam & Max Save the World. That's Telltale's first season of the adventure game. We left off in season 2. We have 2 trophies left to complete, I believe. Can I confirm that? Yeah. It says 3, but that's because you get the platinum when you get all the other ones. So that means that there are effectively 2 outstanding. One is the car-related one, which we're working on. And the other one, I believe, is the AI one. Did we end up doing all of those in chapter 4? So this would be... Yeah, that looks right. So we'll have to go do that, which means revisiting my favorite one of them. Can always reveal them. Did it undo that? It doesn't matter. It's not important. The shield is not important. The talisman is important. Okay, so I think we like literally left on suspend with we completed the zombie CD showdown. Now to catch you up on what that means, we'll have to go back to the... You know what? I'm gonna do a manual save just because a lot of work went into obtaining these stupid DeSoto minigames. So throughout Season 2, 4 of the 5 chapters have driving minigame, or driving and or shooting minigame is probably more correct. In order to get one of these trophies, you have to like accomplish the highest level of task for each one of those minigames, and then also obtain 4 unrelated optional, sometimes RNG dependent, like bonus objectives from each of those. So we will have to go to which of these actually? It's the last, yeah, episode 5. Episode 4 does not have one because it's spent mainly on a time machine. The devil imagery was throwing me off because I thought I'd accidentally clicked the devil's Playhouse. So let's go to episode 5. Oh, right. I have to pick a chapter. I pick 5. I don't know. 5 is usually late enough that you have the option to do the optional things without being stuck in what passes for a boss fight. So any of y'all have good news? I am like literally drowning in work, and I will try to make that the very last time I say the word work or allude to it, unless it's actually entertaining or funny. Okay, so here's the car. It's a little possessed from the events of okay, so it's showing all the previous ones, and they're all filled out, and of course we have none of what we need from this one. That's fine. Let's hop in the car, and I think this one's like totally optional, whereas the other ones you have to like complete some level of, so I don't remember what this is because I think I skipped doing it during this most recent playthrough. So let's run
over some evil escaped rats.
Going to Disney for New Year's? That is exciting. Is there like a particular like New Year's event, or you will just take the holiday time that is New Year's? So I don't get to steer the car anymore because it's possessed, which is weird, but like totally normal if you really think about it. Looks like this is going to be really hard. Well, there's a soccer ball up there that I assume is one of the things that I'm going to... Oh, I see. We lose points when the car hits them, so I have to shoot... this is... I'm going to do bad at this. I'm going to do bad at this? I have to set your expectations correctly. Oh, hey, I got that soccer ball that I started talking about for a fraction of a second. Remember, they're evil rats. It's fine for me to shoot them and run them over, but it's definitely better if I shoot them, for reasons that have become complicated to explain. Going to see your parents after Christmas because it's cheaper, fair, and then Disney because it's also cheaper, fair. Oh, I apparently ran into... something golf related. I got a hole-in-one decal. That's like, look, it's a good start. I got 2 decals. I didn't get I didn't do good at all in the challenge. This is gonna be the real sticking point. The problem is I have no idea where the car is going, so it becomes difficult to prioritize targets. Oh boy, I had oh, hang on, there's a very big rubber duck. That's cool. Oh, and okay, so on the bright side, now the only thing we have to do is complete the shoot gun at rats challenge. Now the downside is I'm demonstrably very bad at it and have made none good progress thus far. It would be nice if I had like a machine gun instead of my comically large cartoon pistol. It's actually unbelievably easy to lose points in this to like an absolutely frustrating degree. Like I really thought we were probably through the worst of the actual, like, be good at challenges, but my god. My god. This could be my whole life. Like, honestly, at the difficulty of, like, shooting at targets while moving in these mini games, this would probably be reasonably difficult even if the car either, like, couldn't swerve directly to hit rats, or even if I just, like, didn't even get points deducted for the car hitting them, like, I would still be bad at this. Like, the hitboxes are small, and the gun is not generous. And then, like, if just, like, a few of them happen to spawn together, and I manage not to shoot those... then like I can instantly lose like 3 points or something, and it takes me like an incredible amount of effort to gain 3 points. Like, this is horrible. If you observe some strategy that I do not, please share with the class. I mean, 11 it is like pretty good. I have some bad news though. In order to complete this challenge, I will need to complete 4 levels of difficulty, with 30 in one round being the highest, and we are on the lowest difficulty. Remember when you first tried this? I don't. Did I do this in the most recent playthrough? I legitimately don't remember doing this at all for some reason. Can you up the circle sensitivity? I don't think so. Is that something? No controls? Just show me the controls. Game settings appear to be exclusively volume. And accessibility doesn't seem to do anything about making it possible to do this challenge.
And now,
Send the evil rats back to hell.
ready?
I don't know what to do.
Remember, they're evil.
Like, there must be
Good job.
something to this. But like, this is easily, I mean, the DeSoto challenge is easily like the hardest thing.
Congratulations, you've won!
How did,
Would you like to keep trying for more
but
decals?
what, how did, I don't even think 15 targets appeared. What happened there? Do you get more than 1 point for shooting them? I don't know what happened there. I don't feel like I should have gotten credit for that, but okay. Hey, anime, welcome to the street. Hey, if we could get an undeserved win 3 more times, then we will have accomplished the goal. No, but it freezes the timer. But that doesn't help if more rats don't show up for me to shoot that I don't also run over. I'm just very perplexed about how we got credit for that. It's fine, though. God, it's like upsetting how rapidly things, it's just bad. Just follow the paragraph. I assume that's an autocorrect.
Excellent.
Alright, let's try again. Yeah, go fight win. I know you just joined us, anime. This is very bad. The car is driving erratically because in the story it is literally possessed. And I have to shoot these rats before the car runs over them to accumulate enough points to profit. But aiming sucks and is bad.
Remember, they're evil rats. Congratulations, you've won!
Okay.
For more decals?
The paragraph of the thing you posted. But scrolling is hard. Okay, I think I have a sense of what works. The thing I'm looking at suggests that you should just, like, shoot at the horizon, but I think, like, you just really want to try and focus, like, straight ahead of you. I can tell it doesn't help that giant sand body's blocking a third of the field of view. Yep. Yeah, that's not good either. That's not helping. No, that's been true of all the shooting. I mean, it was really not helpful during the kitchen sink experiment from last week. But okay, on to the third one.
Back to hell.
You got 60 seconds, gotta get up to 25. Honestly, it feels like, I don't know, it kind of feels like the first one is like the hardest because you have the least time? Question mark?
Another one down. Remember, they're
'Cause if you shoot, the thing is, like, if you shoot ahead of you, you should, like, largely be able to avoid the car running over them. It's not, like, foolproof, and it does potentially limit the number of, oh god, the number of, like, potential targets you can actually hit. This is not a good demonstration. This isn't going particularly good.
they're evil rats.
But, like, that's the idea, is, like, you'll at least, like, retain the points you're making, and with, like, a little bit of luck, you'll get spawns that, oh boy, aren't garbage, which we did not get luck this time, but like we're reasonably close despite that being like an especially bad attempt, I think.
How?
Send the evil rats back to hell.
Ready? Go! The car got that one. Another one down.
It does suck too that like the perspective changes enough that like when the car swerves dramatically, if you're like shooting ahead for the zone you're in, like suddenly
Back to hell with you.
like you're not aimed where the rats will appear, and like then it can still sort of get like cheaty shots in by like running over ones you maybe should be able to shoot out of the way.
Another one down.
Come on.
No, run.
God, they all spawned right in a row for like maximum annoying.
Justified. Good job. Well done.
I don't know. Now that I've played this a couple times, I do think my assessment was wrong. And even though we passed the second trial relatively easily, I think the issue is that on the higher difficulties, the car swerves more dramatically, which really ramps the difficulty up dramatically.
And how?
Send the evil rats back to hell.
Ready? Go!
It's also just like kind of annoying to listen to. It's probably not as bad as like the bagpipes, if we're gonna be honest. The bagpipes were very bad.
Remember,
You could even call them bad pipes, but that seems ridiculous, so we won't.
back to hell with you.
But like, yeah, the fact that like the car won't sit still long enough for me to just like shoot in a remotely straight line is like intensely annoying. I get that that is like literally the challenge, but like it just sucks. It sucks to do. Because like again, the issue we've had primarily in round one was just the sheer difficulty of like aiming at targets at all. Especially like the sidewalks are the worst because they really like shift off center, like what where you have to aim. Like if we stayed largely in the road, it wouldn't be the worst. It would still be challenging, but like several of these runs in a row have had it like just either like shifting really dramatically across the whole road span, or just staying in the gutter that is the sidewalk, and like that's the worst. Like I would really like to be spending more or most time in the middle of the road. It's definitely somewhat easier to readjust where you have to aim when doing that, as opposed to the gutter, where like that's where you really feel Sam covering up your field of view, is like at the extreme right and left.
And how?
Send the evil rats back to hell.
So we will be here a minute. I think I had actually alluded to some point last week that like we would
Good job.
go and do other challenges and then go back to car. But then I thought about it for any amount of time and I'm like, there is no telling
Well done.
whether this will be doable at all. I should devote the most time to it, and then everything after it will be dessert of not having to do the road anymore. Oh my god.
Good job. Now run over.
I thought he was gonna go right and I started trying to correct my target.
1 point for the DeSoto.
How did you even manage to hit that, you ghoul? Stressing me out, man. Wait, what happened? It says I'm supposed to get up to 30. That was only 25. And it just like automatically ended. Is you gonna give me credit at 25? I'll take it. That sucks. I think it did.
You won all the
That's not what the guide says, but I'll take not doing a fourth
Soul
one.
is evil and don't have the faith to match.
Twisted. I like it.
Okay. It didn't give me a trophy for that. Which is like not good. I think I actually may have seen something about like the trigger for this being a little weird. I want to see if I go back. No, I mean, like, you can see that I have like all the decals on the wall there. The poster shows all of them for all 4 chapters. Is it possible that... Yeah, no, I still have to do 30. I don't know what it did. I don't know why it, like, ended that prematurely. But, like, part of this is that I do need to, like, complete all levels of difficulty. So, like, I don't know why it, like, did that. Like, there seems to be, like, a broken trigger there or something.
Good job.
That was weird. It didn't try to go all the way to the right, which is what it was doing on the previous difficulty.
Another one down.
And usually succeeding at making that as annoying as... Oh, okay. Can even see the rats there on the right that we veered into. This is surprisingly stressful.
Remember, they're evil rats. Another one.
Again, evil rats, everyone. Calm down. Aw, we were like pretty close, and then we hit like 3 rats in a row and didn't have any time left.
And how?
Send the evil rats back to hell.
Ready? Go.
It's really upsetting when the car just like runs into like 8 things in a row with a mind of its own.
Well done.
It just triggers some like primal fear of the danger of being in a car.
Back to hell with you.
Not at all fun Vasco fact. I actually hate driving. Literally, like anyone who knows me in real life is like well aware of this fact.
Remember,
I'm like the only person I think in my family who like doesn't like driving, which makes me like an outlier there. But like I also like lived in California for like 10 years.
good job.
There's a lot of driving to be done in California because like nothing is within walking distance to any other thing.
Well done.
Remember,
But
they're
I would say that I've probably done more walking in LA than most people. Wow, we were in good shape for like a hot second there.
Good job.
That was actually pretty close. It was actually pretty close. The thing, what I don't like about driving is that there's a disproportionate level of danger and responsibility for like a really banal like trade-off, like benefit. It is unfortunate that the United States is really configured around the existence, ownership, and use of cars. Because I would not hate, you know, like I went to school in Boston. I loved that system. Although I hear that in the time since I've left, in particular during COVID, they really goofed up their public transportation system. Bullet train went. Oh, I know. Okay, let's try again. This challenge sucks, but we're making progress, sort of.
Back to hell.
ready? Go.
1 point for the DeSoto.
Back to hell with you. No. Run.
There is something really funny about the commentary of the cops.
Another one down.
Like the phone guy just... Come on, you really hit that one, you son of a...
Remember, they're evil rats.
You son of my gun. We're, like, not remotely close. This is a bad run. Them just, like, constantly being like, back to hell, you rats!
Well done.
Remember, they're evil rats. Back to hell with you.
God, it's so... Like, there's definitely, like, a considerable luck factor here. Like, there is a strategy to this, and there's certainly some amount of skill. But, like, if it just turns out that, like, the car is positioned to, like, run over several rats in a row, and, like, in so doing also, like, dumpster your chances of, like, scoring points, like, you're just toast.
Try again.
Sarah says regarding her Disney trip, Can't do heights. Looking forward to Rock and Roller Coaster Muppet Vision. Yeah, like, I know there's been, like, a lot of chatter. Oh my god. What? So many targets. I know there's been a lot of chatter about Muppet Vision. I only really realized recently that, like, they had made, like a actual announcement about removing it. Or at least that's my understanding. I don't know, I still haven't seen the official announcement, but I feel like people were talking about it for a while, and I wasn't sure if it was, like, speculation on the fact that they've done a lot of changes to the park that, like, aren't people's favorite or whatever. But, like, yeah, that's, like, really... It's really surprising that, like, they're doing that. My immediate thought is, like, I bet they're gonna do something stupid and just, like, replace it with a churro cart in a bathroom. Start the challenge right before a big rundown by the car. So when the timer starts... I mean, like, we tried this before in some of the other challenges, Demolition. Because of the gap in, like, starting the challenge, I don't think there's realistically any difference in when you start it. It's all like a... It's all a pachinko machine.
And how?
Send the evil rats back to hell.
Ready? Go!
Good job. Well done.
But, like, at this level of difficulty, like...
Hell with you.
Justified.
Remember, they're evil rats.
You, like, can't really afford to, like, miss
One down.
at all.
Pointed up.
But, like, it's still actually quite easy to, like, miss the targets, especially while the car is swerving.
Good job.
As its own challenge, this might actually be the least fun one. I would still argue that
Well done.
shooting the kitchen sink is, like, a worse thing to try and do, generally speaking.
Evil rat.
But, like, this just, like, as its own minigame kind of just sucks.
The car got that one. Back to hell with you.
Good job.
Congratulations, you won.
It was weird. I thought I saw it tick up to 30 and it didn't give me credit, and then I got up to 31 and it finally counted. No. Lord, I'm tired of this drivel, as it were. Now, when I started, I did actually expect that to be worse. I consider that a pretty good success at that overall thing, at that endeavor. I mean, you know, it's no kitchen sink. Okay, so now... Well, at this point I am unclear of a reason that I would not get credit for that. Do I have to talk to cops? Is the... Okay, hold on. Achievement for getting all the upgrades glitched. This looks like the thing that happened to me. Just finished the last minigame, automatically exited me out of it, which indicates I have all the decals. It says via the decal poster that I have all the decals, but no achievement. Same thing happened to me, and I did the minigame again from Chapter 1 and reloaded Chapter 5, and it unlocked. Alright, we could try that. So,
Stay virtuous.
let's do a save, and then a main menu. And go back to episode 1, and then continue episode 1. You're saying is it's everything but the kitchen sink. Ah, boy, Alcadus, you would have loved it here last week. Just literally a whole mission about getting the kitchen sink, and it took us That was like pretty close to 2 hours, right? I didn't clock that in the edit, but like it was a long time.
Where to, Sam?
So I don't know if I have to succeed at
Let's go
this
for some more
mission, but we'll
torture
try it.
Destroy them!
Ready?
Just like a big number.
Go!
What did you do to my leg? I'm an American citizen. Look into your heart. Please, kill me. I'll talk. Why are you doing this?
Don't worry about the gratuitous violence. It's Sam and Max after all. Hey, if you could spawn some things I'm supposed to run over, I would think that's pretty cool, actually. I'd be a fan.
No more. I beg you.
I don't think we're hitting 50.
Please, not the corkscrew. Why are you doing this?
It's pretty wildly
Look into your heart.
unclear to me if I need to... Like, what actual thing I'm trying to change to cause the trophy to trigger. I think it's pretty rude for like a fairly difficult trophy to obtain to also be one that's like, oh my god, I was down by 2. That's
Yes.
now just on principle I want to just do it. Like for real.
Go!
It's very annoying. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I do think there's like a good amount of like RNG and luck involved with a lot of these challenges. Once they get to like a certain level, like you just kind of like need stuff to go right in order to have a real chance of like completing these tasks in their respective time limits. Plus, you factor in like the weird quirks of like spawning and then also being able to like shoot the kitchen sink. Like I would say it's like a like probably not close to like hardest video game achievements of all time, but like it's a pretty bad one. I'd rank it like maybe like top 20th percentile or something. Thank you for the
I know my rights.
low battery warning after like 20 minutes or something.
Time's up!
Would you
I don't
like to
know.
try again?
I feel like I need like a not incredible amount of luck, and yet here we are, 48 out of 50 twice in a row. I have to be up at 5 a.m. Well, good luck with that, Arcadius. That sounds bad. Let's
Yeah.
do it again.
Ready? Go!
Oh, that was like an especially bad time for the minigame to sort of take hold there.
Please, kill me. Look into your heart. I'm an American citizen.
Does the demonically possessed DeSoto factor into Season 3 at all? Am I just like forgetting something that happened early? It doesn't, right? Like the car's not even like present in the first one. I don't think it behaves weird in the third one. When Sam is like driving around to all the people to threaten in his like noir angst.
I know my rights. Stop the face. I know my rights. I'm an American citizen. No more. I beg you.
Oh, why would I do that? I need 2.
I'll see you in hell.
Congratulations!
Okay, got there. Not that it matters, just the principle of the fact that I did it twice and got extremely close.
No.
So the thing recommended that we do that to sort of like reset the game's interpretation of what decals we have, and then go back to chapter 5 where we expect it to trigger, and then maybe it works. But yeah, like in the scheme of like trophies to have issues triggering correctly, this would be my lowest pick for desirability in terms of what we've experienced so far in my awareness of the Telltale 7 Max achievements. So we'll go back and we'll load episode 5. And then we will continue episode 5. Actually, how exactly did we phrase it in this? And to do the minigame again from chapter 1, reloaded chapter 5 and it unlocked. Well, I mean, it still hasn't unlocked. If we look at the decals poster, you will observe that we have all of them.
Where are we going, Sam?
If we just like look at our decals, there's also no space to put more decals.
Where are we going, Sam?
Let's run over some evil.
I don't know what to do. It's now really important to me that I get this trophy because I have earned it and it did suck to do.
Send the evil
So,
rats back to hell.
Ready?
once you hit 32.
Run over.
Why is it 32? What broken thing has occurred?
Point deducted.
Remember, they're evil rats.
Remember, everyone, they are evil rats. This is not what I would call a good run. You had like a real glut. I guess here's the thing: is like the spawn that you want is you want like a lot in a row. You don't want them grouped up horizontally because that does let the car
Back to hell with you.
do violent shenanigans, by which I mean take all your points and do vehicular rat slaughter. Which sounds even worse than manslaughter in some bizarre way.
Good job.
Good job.
Another
Yeah, like halfway there with like 6 seconds left. Seems good. Yeah, I did not win, that's true.
Now.
Send the evil rats back to hell.
ready? Go!
So,
Run over.
if I had to
Evil rats.
wager a guess,
Deducted.
I think what's happened here is that they accidentally programmed something in where the number of rats scales beyond what it's supposed to do.
Another one down.
Because, like, 30 is supposed to be the highest challenge, and yet here I am trying to hit 32.
Evil rats.
And I think something about that may have caused... Good God, these spawns are awful. I think something about that may have caused the game to, like, not know how to recognize the accomplishment. Oh my... These rat spawns are heinous.
Good job. Well done.
Good job. Back to hell with you.
Well done.
Is 32 even gonna be doable? Yeah, according to this, 30 should be the highest goal. And we already did 30, but I have to feel like, for some reason or other, that explains the issue. Okay, here's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end the minigame, see if that just like happens to trigger something. If not, I'm gonna go do the last one from season 2 and see if that somehow triggers something. And if not, figure out a third step to do.
No way.
This is very frustrating. Sorry, what was that noise? I don't think I ever really paid attention to these pause sounds. There's a lot of these. It'd be really funny if someone showed up at exactly this point in the stream. There we go. I was trying to get that one to appear again. I think that one's my favorite. Alright, so let's save. It was totally busted. So he tells me they ported it over too well. I mean, what even does that mean, though? Like, what does it mean? Okay. Let's go to... The other one we're missing is in episode 4. Should be able to do this for most of the mid-late chapters. Let's try 3. It is the best one. Is this the one that takes me to the main room? That's where I need to be.
Putting course on screen. Jefe's log. We are on course for our most difficult mission yet.
Jefe's log.
Keep the time shuttle open for emergencies while I figure out how we tackle this. The most dangerous birthday.
What about quadruplets?
Issuing time card for embarrassing idol.
Okay. Hello, device.
So long.
Get.
If I
It
take
has
the
the
time
embarrassing
card,
idol logo.
then can I have a normal conversation with you, or do I have to do that earlier in the
So
game?
long.
Alright, it turns out I have to do that earlier in the game. Let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place. Okay, I accidentally hit continue because I do maintain that... I don't know how much I've griped about this. It's not super important. The way these menus are set up is a little unintuitive to me in that, like... I feel like I should, like, click the episode thumbnail and then it should take me to a menu, but the menu is, like, always present and I navigate up to it, and to get it to apply to the right chapter, I, like, click the thumbnail. It's not, like, broken, but, like, I always have to, like, think about it. I feel like that shouldn't be the case. Let's do chapter 2. I think that will be late enough. I just don't want to have to, like, get on the ship. Okay.
Hey, Max, what do you think this thing is?
Calibrating. Complete. I now have mastered your primitive but no less valid language. Please choose from the following topics of conversation.
10.
Who are you?
I am this craft's artificial intelligence. I supervise the operations of this craft and the activities of its crew.
20.
Where's the crew?
They are currently occupied with the craft's primary mission. They will arrive shortly to detain you for your own safety.
What happened to Vasco?
The intruder made unsanctioned use of the time shuttle.
That sounds gross. Do I have to clean up after
How do
that?
we use that elevator?
Simply choose a destination. Additional destinations can be opened using convenient pre-printed time cards.
You would think that there'd be a greater amount of security, but alas, here we
What are
are.
my options?
My personality can be configured to respond in the style most appropriate to the user. Please choose from the following options.
Suggestive.
Oh, that is exactly how I like it.
Who are you?
The better question is, who are you?
Morale.
Where's the crew?
Don't worry about them. This moment is all about us.
Morale.
What happened to Vasco?
Vasco made illicit use of the time shuttle and just savaged history.
That also sounds gross, and I don't want to clean up
How
after.
do we use that elevator?
Print out a card to where you want to go and insert it slowly into the time card reader.
What are my options?
My personality can be configured to respond in the style most appropriate to the user. Please choose from the following options.
If you haven't figured it out yet, we do need to go through all of the dialogue options for each one of the personality types, which I think I had more or less figured out doing the replay, but I was like, I got places to be. I don't want to go through all the dialogue now.
Abusive.
Good choice, moron. Did you come up with that yourself, or did your idiot friend help out?
Who are you?
Did it ever dawn on you I might be the ship's computer, moron?
Where's the crew?
They're away talking to people who aren't idiots, which means they're luckier than me.
What happened to Vasco?
Oh gee, I don't know. Do you think it might have something to do with screwing around with his history, Brainiac?
How do we use that elevator?
It's a time machine. You get time cards. Figure it out, moron.
What are my options?
My personality can be configured to respond in the style most appropriate to the user. Please choose from the following options.
Passive-aggressive.
Selection acknowledged. I'll just alter my entire personality matrix to make you more comfortable.
That was the option provided to me.
Who are you?
Oh, nobody. Just the one who controls all functions of the ship's computer. That's all.
Where's the crew?
Oh, I don't know. They're off somewhere, leaving me to take care of everything.
What happened to Vasco?
Oh, he just interfered with causality, leaving it for the rest of us to clean up.
Oh, man, that does mean I'm gonna have to clean it up.
How do we use that elevator?
Just print out a time card whenever it's convenient for you. Don't worry about wasting paper or anything.
What are my options?
My personality can be configured to respond in the style most appropriate to the user. Please choose from the following options.
Now, I think I should choose the original.
Politically correct.
Selection acknowledged as no more or less valid than the other available choices.
So long.
Goodbye.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it would trigger while the dialogue was still happening and was concerned another one wasn't triggering. Okay. Got the good one again. Let's go back to the main menu. I mean... I am not sure what to do to make the thing trigger. Already did the hard part. Never ordered me turbocharger from chapter 1. So... Okay, we've redone 1. That should be fine. 2 was the bagpipes.
Where are we going, Sam?
Let's play that.
I guess I'll try just like beating all the challenges again and see if I can get it to trigger something. This one's relatively easy. It's not so much multitasking as some of the others.
Go!
I'm supposed to be playing like a recognizable song. I find it hard to recognize anything played on the bagpipes. It all kind of just sounds like this. Ooh, I hit 2? Figured I'd probably hit 1 there. Here is, ongoing, huh? Like even when we did the longest one, it wasn't this long. Is that the issue? Are there more levels of difficulty to this than the game let on, and I didn't do all of them?
Congratulations, you are a winner! Would
This
you
might
like
be
to
the thing that
try
held us up if
more
it's saying that it's awarding decals. I think this is the problem. What challenge are we trying to do here? We're still working on the car-related one. It was a many-step process. I don't know if you were here last week when we were doing this, Keen. So we've gone through all of the, like, environmental decals. The ones where you have to, like, shoot, you know, things passing by and whatever. And we completed all of the challenges. I think what happened here is that I may have misinterpreted in the guide I'm following for this chapter too. And of course, Moai Better Blues would be the one that ultimately causes this to be more frustrating than it needs to be. It just says levels 1 through 4 complete the minigame. But like, it doesn't actually suggest that the minigame is different. I thought it was just using the same template as the other ones, and the idea was that this was like binary. You had either completed this challenge or not. So ultimately, I think if I just do this maybe 2 more times, then we'll be fine. Maybe, I don't
The
know.
goal is to drive over the bagpipes and
So,
over the
it's bagpipe o'clock, baby!
Go!
While we're listening to me run over bagpipes with extreme prejudice, what's everyone's least favorite song? Or at the very least, like, what is a song that, like, annoys you, like, irrationally that maybe other people either like or don't understand your hatred of? I feel like I probably have a lot of hot takes on this because of my relatively distinct taste in music, but, one I'll share pretty readily is, for some reason I've always absolutely loathed the song Single Ladies by Beyonce. It makes me feel violent. For some reason that song in particular just sounds like noise to me in a way that like I can't really articulate and certainly can't like explain or justify. Oh, I hit so many bagpipes. They arrange themselves in such an unforgiving pattern, and yet somehow we endure. Holiday-specific Christmas shoes. That's a good pick, by which I mean, what a bad song. Hate Anything by Jimmy Eat World. That feels really specific. I feel like I know at most 2 Jimmy Eat World songs. Like the middle and another one that's not coming to mind, but I'm pretty sure I've heard.
Congratulations, you've earned every decal currently in stock.
You rock! You win the big honkin' mystery prize.
What a honkin' prize.
Thanks, guys. You make the best completely worthless upgrades.
There's this OG, I hate hippopotamus for Christmas also. That is an objectively bad song. There's like some low level of charm buried in there, but it is just a very bad song. He said All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. It's just overplayed. That's probably fair. I think we have hyped it pretty powerfully. Dominic the Christmas Donkey is also very bad. I'll agree with that. Oh, this... I think it was one I was just watching this week. I was watching like an old Hallmark movie when I was like focused on like doing some like Christmas present research earlier this week. And there was like a point in the movie where like a little girl said like, I have the solo at the Christmas concert. It's We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And like, it made me irrationally upset. Not just because We Wish You a Merry Christmas is a truly bizarre song. It's not as bad as most of these hated Christmas classics being mentioned here. But of all the songs to do solo, the one that is sung from like a collective group noun perspective, really? We Wish You a Merry Christmas? That's the solo? It's so weird that you find Dominic the Christmas donkey charming. Like, I get it. I mean, I'm actually impressed that this many people, like, recognize Dominic the Christmas Donkey. I've come to understand over time that this is, like, a beloved Philadelphia classic, so I thought maybe that would just be something I knew about growing up in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's not, like, a particularly good song. Okay, so what now? Let me just check. No, not
Give
this.
me time. Okay.
I mean, it gave us the cutscene for getting the doll. I'm sort of interpreting that this is an important part of this process. So what remains to be done? We could try doing the zombies again. Jigglypuff is top tier. Thank you. I'm very happy with this Jigglypuff. This was a late purchase from the time in California. My mom got me this as a birthday present. We found, I sort of discovered earlier this year, just a few months before the move, that there was this totally sick candy shop in Burbank that just like sells like high quality imported Pokemon plush, and I have like 7 of them. They're not super cheap, but they're very good. I like Jigglypuff. It's also Sandshrews a little buried, but he's on the shelf there, and you can probably see coughing at this range. But they're not all out tonight. Do I have any Pikachus? I have a few. I have a Squishmallow Pika. And I actually have like 2 or 3 Pikachus that I had intended to give to my sister until learning that she had possessed those specific Pikachus. And now I just have those Pikachus. That's how that works. If you don't already know my sister, she also streams on Twitch as Funny Godmother on Sundays in the early afternoon East Coast time. And she likes Pikachus a lot, and recently took over as the director for the Pokemon trading card game live app. And she sent me some photos of her experience at their office and various things, and it's very exciting to be her. No. Chariots is the one I would skip. I need to go... Where's my cursor? So, like... Well, okay. Tell you what. Before I go and do this... It was suggested in one of those things that they went back and got something that the game hadn't acknowledged. And I think that I have done that now. So now if I go to episode 5, is that simply enough? Let's do this piecemeal. Let's do like a real proper scientific analysis of...
Unbelievable!
There we go.
You've won every prize we've offered this year.
I've never been so proud.
Show them what they've won.
Oh!
Ah.
It was totally worth the effort.
There we go.
Where are we going, Sam?
I mean, we have to just drive it around.
Cause general mayhem.
There's our platinum trophy for Beyond Time and Space. We'll try. Yeah, it is pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, regrettably, in this chapter, you can't actually control the car at all. But it's still pretty cool that you get a cool siren that, like, takes up a lot of the screen when you're driving. The last part sounds like it's a dig, but I mean, you already get, like, no visibility, so, like, it may as well be a cool thing that's blocking your view. Oh. There's a button for nitrous. Did I have that before? That's pretty cool. Oh, that's really interesting. I tried to hit circle to hear if the horn had changed. And that takes you... Hitting circle while in shooting mode in the other driving games puts you back in the driver's seat instead of being in the shooting position. However, because you can't drive the car, he tries to do that and then immediately gets back up. So I guess you just can't use the horn in this chapter, which is interesting. Learning all sorts of stuff. Anyway, that was fun. Can't do too much with that, but it's still a pretty cool prize. So that leaves us with just getting the trophies for the Devil's Playhouse, which are probably the ones I've looked over the least. So let's save again. There's a really hard-earned trophy. Options, close game. Alright. On to the Devil's Third. That's what we call this, right? It's a particularly long loading thing. Maybe they specifically don't want you to skip the seizure warning. Okay, actually, hold on. This options. We have to be in gameplay to get the trophy thing to come up. Onto the red guy from Cow and Chicken. Something like that, yeah. Alright, so... I'm pretty sure we didn't trigger this one... Episode 1. Even though we kind of got close, I assume. Now, the tricky part about this is... We don't want to be in the tutorial. Alright, I guess what we'll do is... Oh, that's interesting. This is something I hadn't actually looked into. So this is the most recent remaster, being the third of the 3 seasons. They did them in sequential order, surprising no one. But, I mean, you saw me trying to access the chapters in the previous one, and particularly when trying to go back and do these, like, trophies after having completed stuff, just, like, going back to do it. It was always, like, guess and check of, like, what chapter was where. But here, it, like, actually gives you some sense of where each chapter starts, which is helpful. That's a good quality of life upgrade. So I should need to go here. Now, it's unclear to me if I can jump around and get credit for this. That seems like the easiest thing to try to do. Famously at this point, don't particularly like this chapter. This is the one that introduces Max's psychic powers and relies really heavily on them to do the puzzle solving instead of actual puzzle solving, which they back off on a little bit throughout the course of the season. I literally can't get the cursor where I need it to go. So what we need to do is Max has access to a Viewmaster that lets him see the future. Oh, for God's sake. And I need him to scan... If I go, like, over here, does that change the camera better? Or something? Yeah, that's better. So I need to scan Sam's future in, like, every possible scene in the chapter to get some sort of future viewing-based trophy. I did a lot of these. Again, this is one that I sort of figured this would be a trophy, but I must have missed one somewhere.
Not the Chrysler Building.
That sounds fun. I can hardly wait.
So that is an allusion to the last chapter in the season, which is fun. I like that. So then, if we go... This hung me up a while in my replay. That this would be a way to get in here instead of walking into this location. But I think when you like reload these chapters, it resets any progress you had.
Check it out,
I'm not
Max.
totally sure
The
of that,
control
though.
center for invaders from distant stars.
Yeah, alien spaceship. Seen it. I just want to get to the part where I have those sweet psychic powers.
I mean, the driving challenges didn't exactly work that way because they did save some amount of progress. Where's Sam? He's right. He's like right in the one spot I didn't look at.
You did it, Sam and Max. You awakened me from the sleep of 100
Donut
deaths.
button, Sam and Max.
How did you do it?
Easy peasy. All it took was Stinky's demon broth and Mama Bosco's futuristic power core. Well, you heard the mean little buddy. We've got to find some.
So
demon
that
broth
was
and
that
Mama
one's
Bosco's
plot
futuristic
critical.
power core.
The one outside isn't, but I'm pretty sure we had that before. I wish I had the phone. I don't remember when you get the phone in this chapter. I've already blacked out most of it.
Big winner coming through.
Congratulations.
Hey, pal.
Just gonna skip this mandatory cutscene. We have seen the chapter. You can find my recent playthrough on YouTube if you want. Spoiler alert, not my favorite chapter of Sam and Max. Also not my least favorite. Still not sure if that's Moai Better Blues or what's the name of episode 2 in this season? Really blanking on that. The film reel one? Did not care for that. Storytelling's like all out of whack. So now we go to Stinky's Diner. Don't recall the Stinky's Diner one. We're the Subway one. Even if it was tracking progress, I could believe I missed either or both of those. She seems so upset about that sea shanty.
To catch up with old friends.
And meet new ones, like emergency medical technicians and the friendly folks at Poison Control.
Do you think that Stinky's Diner ever considered like memberships that make the staff treat you like a king if you carry around an orichalcum trident? Or is that too far ahead of its time, do you think? Where did Sam... It always manages to exist where my camera isn't.
Wow, would you look at that, Max? Amazing.
No, that one's plot critical, I think. Probably did do that. So now I got to go to the Subway. Eat fresh. Still not sure how long the rest of the achievement... Technically, the very last achievement could spur on like an entire new playthrough, although that is not going to happen. I don't think it would change very little, but
Sheesh,
we'll get to
people
that.
are taking their own sweet time getting our subway station back into shape.
Well, to be fair, they've been subcontracting to the Mutant Alligators Union. Those guys are notorious loafers.
No, definitely did this one too. Now comes the point where I'm not sure if I could progress without like replaying the whole chapter. Can I go to Vasco Tech currently? I honestly don't remember. The Pimp a Car joke is such a weird joke, isn't it? Okay, we have to reintroduce the cops at the start of the new season.
You have been.
I can always back out and skip ahead. Yeah, I'm just like not 100% sure if the game will remember that I've gone and done these things when I do that. I expect it should, but I'm not certain that it does. That's my only concern. Drive the car.
If you'd like to,
Hey, Sam!
It is not.
What is he
if
saying?
you'd like to drive somewhere, use the handy city map contained.
See ya, cops.
End of line.
Consult the city map. Tabasco Tech. Yeah, there is a location I don't have now. No, more than one, because you have to do the crime computer segment. So we'll try skipping ahead to there and see what's up. So I need to do 2 scans here. One outside, one inside.
Well, that knocked him out cold.
Do it again! Do it again!
A lot of menus to drill down on to do all these things. Gotta switch to max, gotta select the item, gotta find Sam, gotta click OK, and then undo like 3 layers of that on the other end.
Spooky!
Mama Bosco?
Such a good painting. I wonder if they ever made that in real life. That would be fun. It's Harry Moleman. No one likes him, especially not Neko.
Do not be a...
Oh,
Okay, we talked bad songs. We talked a little bit about the holidays and whether or not we're on top of things, which I, for one, am not.
welcome to the
I exist, I think, as a baseline to which others are meant to compare their progress for holiday preparedness. So you should always feel better knowing of my existence. But what are you all hoping for this Christmas? What is your Christmas wish? Don't really need to do anything other than do this scan, probably. I'm just subconsciously like, spooky skeleton.
So long, suckers!
This was also plot critical. Definitely did this. Yeah, so I think where I would have messed up is these like later optional locations where like I think one of them is essential and the others aren't. I think I probably did it in the tunnel at the end of the chapter, but I'm not sure. Since I can't get to those now because I don't want to replay the whole chapter, I think I will try. Hit several wrong buttons in a row. That's a fun one. Different set of noises from season 2. So let's go to episode 1. Actually, don't know. Pizza pawn shop. Let me go to the pawn shop and see if I have the ability to drive to other locations, because if so, that's probably the most useful thing to get these 3. Check out DeSoto. use the map. Go to... Mista Pizza. Oh, that's right. I remember the Mista Pizza location now. I think you have to read Sam's future to determine you go on the roof. But this is when Sam refuses to propose to a pigeon or something. Max.
Toys.
Oh, no.
We must prepare.
Did not see
the
this.
Toys.
Well, that's just a typical Friday night for you, Sam.
Outside pawn shop, outside toy shop. Okay. So, glad we came back here. Let's go back to the pawn shop. Well, I'm pretty sure we did pawn shop. It gives you some sense of how to, like, take out the gorilla guard there. I mean, I would say that would be like a typical Friday night for me if I weren't here doing this. And honestly, sometimes even when I am. Wow. Boy, it does not want to move for some reason. Okay,
Oldest
check out
trick
some...
in the book.
Alright, and then... The toy shop, I think, is plot critical too. I think the last... Well, I don't know. How do I, Is it a big gap to get from here to the toy shop? Straight, narrow. From 9 out of 10. I see trash cans, banana peel, manhole cover. Yeah, this should be fine.
Just a bunch of food scraps and used cat litter. It'd help if I knew what I was looking for.
I have to what, read the future of the gorilla? See, this is the sort of thing
Oldest trick in the book.
that made me not like this chapter so much. Like, seeing the future gimmick is fine, but
Totally carried
it
that
was
heavy thing a lot
heavily
farther.
used
I just
instead
didn't
of sort
feel
of just like a traditional puzzle solution. I find that kind of frustrating. So...
This looks entirely too safe.
No, I should also... Okay, realize... I see a trash
I
can.
could have totally carried that heavy thing a lot farther. I just didn't feel like it.
It's suggesting that was the trigger that lets the trash can be useful.
Aha! A banana peel.
It's weird. It's weird that just moving the manhole cover makes that work. And that he's unwilling to take the cartoon accessory before then. So use banana peel with manhole cover.
Down with Skunk Ape. Aliens go home.
Hey. You
And is
guys
pretty ignorant,
really
but we are
should-
sort of trying to accomplish something in particular. Really should have
Oldest trick in the
anticipated
book.
that, I think. Do you like that the pawn shop window has only pawns? Unlike me, I don't have an only pawns that anyone knows about.
A paddleball toy?
Skunk Ape must have tossed it out when he realized it wasn't magical. We've got to find what store he got it from.
Seat and paddle ball. Open up the location that I desire. Understood. Not that I, like, ace this playing the first time through. Actually, in fact, the Crime-Tron combinations felt entirely arbitrary without already knowing the solution. But it's like particularly jarring to try and like make progress not being in the midst of like the story. So I'm definitely going off the walkthrough to just access the toy shop. So the hope is that we do this, and then we hop ahead to the end of the chapter and do a scan there, and then it gives us credit for all of them, because if not, it may want us to replay the entire chapter in order to register it correctly, which sounds bad. I would like not to do that.
How are we ever gonna...
Shut up, Max.
It's Mole Man!
Spoiler warning, Harry!
Smash your cell phones! That's how he controls you! It's Mole Man! Generals can copy his sweating.
All clues lead here, but
Bob's
no
is
sign of
Toys's. I didn't notice that the first
Aha!
time.
New York's lackadaisical business hours win again. But Skunk Ape will be back any second, little buddy. We'd better be ready for him.
What are we gonna do once he shows up?
I don't know yet.
So yeah, the game heavily prompts you to scan Sam's future because that triggers a cutscene that gets you drop kicked into
So you
the
have found me
next
the last
scene.
freelance police. That will make everything so much easier. And you have brought the elusive toy right to me. Yes. Yes.
Uh-oh.
So you have
I do
found
appreciate
me
the
at
gag
last,
that we've been
freelance
seeing the
police.
future of the entire
That will make
chapter.
everything so much
And then, like, right when you're like, oh no, like, what will we do
And
to
you
stop
have
the
brought
villain?
the elusive
You see
toy
a glimpse of,
right
like, what
to
happens the second you stop seeing the future.
Yes.
So you just see it, and then you immediately see it again because you didn't see far enough in the future. It's kind of a dumb joke, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Engines to full power.
Look, no longer can you... the villain.
So since I'm sort of dependent on the game being able to register this progress jumping around at this point, I will not attempt to replay that part of the chapter. Instead, I will just jump to the last room I need, which is... I assume this brings us to the tunnel. Oh, no, it doesn't. Do I need to do a scan here? It's not on the list, but it feels like it should be. Okay, there's no ability to scan the future presently. See what I did there?
If I know my high-tech futuristic explosive devices, this is an antimatter bomb that will destroy the entire penal zone and anyone inside it. And it's gonna go off at any second.
Really, Sam? Any second?
Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but still best not to dawdle.
I think I'm just... Again, I'm like a little out of the context of the scene. I think I'm just like teleporting myself to... where do I want to end up? Not on the spaceship, right? I want to like find Sybil's junk on the street where she hid a really cool gun that we'll never find.
Gotcha!
Welcome back, sirs.
What just happened?
I detected a
Just tell us how we can get back at Skunk.
I say let's...
You failed to trap him in the penal zone?
I wouldn't say failed exactly. Maybe Underperformed.
And we blew up the penal zone with an antimatter bomb.
Oh dear.
How can...
Dr. Mama Bomb.
Filtration account travel to cause end up elsewhere. Dialogue.
How are we going to stop Skunk Ape?
With the penal zone destroyed, we have no way to return him.
Unless you could make another penal zone.
I smell a convolute.
With a side order of hand-waving technical nonsense.
Before I made the destabilizer, I was working on a Only problem is, you'll have to find a nexus of ley lines somewhere for it to work. A place where the border between reality and nonsense has broken down.
There happens to be one of those in the city, ma'am. It's at 1313 Straight Street.
That address sounds familiar.
That's our building. How does this rip?
You just plug it in and press the pedal. The trick.
Do you have any?
No, it's over there with you.
See you on the other.
Give me the rift generator.
We'll be careful with your rift generator, Mama Vasco.
Just make sure you don't turn it on until you've got that homing beacon on General Skunkape.
We teleport onto the ship, give him the beacon, then leave. God, it does feel like a particularly convoluted chapter. The teleportation may or may not have something to do with this.
Did you see that, my queen?
Unfortunate word choice.
Sam and Max, you survived! Have you returned with a, how do I put this tactfully, better thought out plan to stop
Would have worked fine if...
Yeah!
You'll need to get your personal belongings. Let me see if I can...
Thanks, Brain. Now we just need a way to get this homing beacon on Skunk Ape's back without us noticing.
I can't remember the name of my elementary school.
Are you okay, Brain?
You're looking a little green, even for you.
The stress of powering the higher functions of this ship is proving most detergent. Plus, I think this broth is starting to go bad.
Keep it together.
Okay.
I kind of forgot the machine gun sound effects here. Which does feel like a pretty involved setup.
What? Don't you have planets
To,
to blow
like,
up or something?
Accomplish this bonus objective. This is one you're definitely better served
Hey,
to
Brain, can you give us
Do-
a hand here?
Maybe cause
I grow weak.
Great. Could you hurry it
while
up?
Show some...
playing the chapter initially, if you're willing to have this type of walkthrough available.
No! Not in my moment of triumph! Sam and Max must somehow be responsible for this. I must find them and destroy them!
That's it, little buddy. Let's go.
It's weird that Stinky doesn't really intercept this nonsense at all. She just sits there and lets it happen.
What do we do now, Sam?
I don't know. The power's out in the whole building.
Look at all that debris. So rude. There goes that cool gun. It was in those boxes. Rip boxes. Rip gun. So I think that opens up the path to the tunnel, and the tunnel is the last place I'm supposed to need to do a future scan, but again, I'm not sure if that will count. Yeah, so I guess I just call the phone that I knocked down there.
I was hoping
You keep coming up with creepy disaster.
if you don't like it.
Okay, so Mysterious Tunnel is the name of the last place I'm supposed to do the scan, allegedly. So in theory, if we check Sam's future in this tunnel, then we'll be all good. Now, whether or not the game agrees with that, unclear. I continue not to like this chapter terribly much.
Kill just heretic.
Looks like
Where is some
you try.
God, just trying to have control in this room is exhausting. Okay, do the scan. Hope for the best.
Max, what's wrong with you? Max? Little buddy?
Hmm,
Well,
I
that
do
didn't
think...
sound good.
Ah, that was just one of the distant future ones. We don't have to worry about it for a while.
Oh my god, it really does want you to do all of that in a continuous playthrough? Because that's all of them. On the street, on the ship, in the diner, in the subway, outside Bosco's office, inside, pizza restaurant, pawn shop, toy shop, tunnel. Wow. Wow. That sucks. That really, really sucks. That sucks a lot. What is the best way to proceed here? Could attempt to speed run this chapter. How bad is the one from episode 2? It seems pretty annoying. I haven't looked into the specifics. God, even just finding the place I want to be in the second one sounds awful because of the stupid reels. Like, I don't know where the chapter breaks would be. Hi, Keen, thanks for stopping by. You also have an early start. Well, I hope it's not for something unpleasant. Oh, man. Season 3 is just the worst one. Okay, I'm gonna try doing the others. A lot of these are bad, unfortunately. Sphinx challenge in the tomb. I feel like 4 is where I would want to be. You can play from an earlier point in the episode. This will overwrite your autosave. Yeah. I think that's the issue that's keeping it from tracking progress for scanning Sam, for example. The thing we were just trying to do. Like, part of me isn't surprised, but part of me is also surprised that we, like, did it that way. It is very annoying. Use Reel 3, start red button. Alright, let's see where this takes us. It's really hard to gauge where you're at because you're really only using the same 4 starting points over and over.
Somebody on this train has our toy box, and we're gonna get it back.
Is this too late? Door, weird item. Jurgen's door. Moment door, moment door. No, if we have this curse, it means that we made Amelia Earhart try the toy. Where does that leave us in terms of this walkthrough? Right, must have good stuff. Use rule 3. Oh, slushy. Blocks. Use blocks with marquee. I guess that's a thing I could check. Where are we at in the tomb? Tomb is reel 2?
Should we go back to the earlier reel or skip ahead to the next one?
If this one isn't done, we may not be where I want to be. And if it's playable, then it's not done, is how that works.
There must be a way to undo that protection spell so we can get our hands on the Devil's Toy Box.
Should we call the helpline?
Tomb Raiders don't call helplines, little buddy.
Yeah, okay, this isn't done. So then I want... I think I want the next checkpoint. Man, despite the quality of life improvement, this process still manages to be bad. Although I think part of that is really in the tomb? I think part of it is the extremely bad way in which the narrative is laid out, in my opinion. Making this more difficult than it needs to be. Oh, I see. That's right after you finish the tomb. Okay, that's more or less where I want to be. Use the blocks, use reel 3, hit the button. And I'm literally just going to go through this walkthrough and skip all the dialogue, because this process is bad enough as it is. So, use the elves
Somebody
door.
on this train has our toy box, and we're gonna get it back.
It's blue car or green car is where the elves are. You're at the back. That's what counts. Further back. I think we're gonna have to milk Max again. Okay, use the elves door.
Yeah?
Dialogue. Inspect compartment? Do I have to talk to Slushy first?
How many elves you got in there?
At last count, 153.5.
0.5?
Gary, the third level paladin, is only half elf.
That's a stupid joke I forgot about.
Let me talk to...
What's up, dog?
You okay, Slushy?
You're looking kind of pale, dude. Yeah, so they tell me.
Seriously, I hate to break it to you, but I think you're a vampire.
Ah, go on.
Slushy the vampire elf.
Soon to be a beloved holiday. Quit kidding around.
Okay, I'm supposed to use the elves door and then dialogue inspect compartment, which is not an option that anyone has permitted. So that's not great.
He told me to go. Yeah?
That's a really bad start that the first thing on the walkthrough doesn't work. Oh, come on. Let's Blue car, walk along hallway, exit to green car, use mole man door. Let's just do the next thing and see if that works. Mole man door, psychic ventriloquism on steamer trunk. Why did Max grab his head like that? Okay, mole man door.
Please consider my offer.
I should use ventriloquism on trunk.
I'm a prisoner in here!
Got some.
You're not the train.
We're the untrained conductors.
Oh, go ahead then.
Use steamer trunk.
Clothes, blankets, pots and pans, magical bric-a-brac. No toy chest in here. I guess you're cleared.
Why would we steal?
Think
Use
this is
parchment.
significant?
It's selectable, isn't it?
That's just one of our magic spells.
Some kind of vampire reverse curse?
I didn't say that.
Use closet door.
No devil's toy box in there.
Use mole man door.
I'm taking off for a while. See ya.
Where do you think you're going, little girl?
Come off it, Dad. We're in the modern world.
Use Cano nuts for this thing I really hated. Then we use ventriloquism, but we can only do it from this side. If you do it from the other side, the game freaks out. Even though we're clearly still standing here,
Just you.
and just as disruptive to this private conversation they want to have.
All alone. You've got me where you want me.
It's not
There's
skippable
only
for some
one
reason.
thing I've learned. You
It's a
know
hard
what that
cutscene.
is?
Poor little dear. She's completely tongue-tied.
Only we could put the words in her mouth.
You want the vampire reverse curse.
Vampire reverse curse?
Tell me, where can I find it?
It's in the sarcophagus.
The sarcophagus!
Oh, I am saved from the fate worse than death. But I won't.
Jurgen?
So now we go all the way back to the elves' door. And then we trigger the elf thing.
Yeah?
Send out Slushy.
Let me talk.
What's up, dog?
Kringle wants to see you.
Go towards the front. Definitely matters where you go.
Don't fight me! Don't fight me!
Well, what?
Who?
Kringle.
Oh, excuse me.
So importantly, doing this first is what enables us to get the trophy we're trying for right now. The goal is to have Jurgen have 2 curses at the same time. So first we make him a vampire, then we do this other nonsense, getting the moment to give him the sexo rejexo curse, where the sound of your voice is repulsive to the opposite sex. So Slushy, exit to blue card, exit to green card, go to Jurgen's door, which like triggers him to hang out at the front of the train again. Yeah, to summon him back up there, all you have to do is, like, open the trunk. But because he's already a vampire, this should also advance the plot. Not that that's relevant to where we're at right now.
Yes!
Oh no, you don't! Garlic! Crosses! My
Curses indeed!
Stop! Get your filthy hands off that toy box! It's not for the likes of you! It's
Empty.
what?
The trunk is empty.
Schwa.
I have faith.
You know, even for a...
Jurgen was like a weird choice for this whole chapter. Like, of all the characters to, like, bring back, I feel like he didn't add a ton the first time around and doesn't improve the second time. And that's just my feeling.
Giraffe.
So now we go to Mole Man. And then we just have the love letter now. That's fine. Don't worry about that. So we...
As a response...
Hey!
Huh?
So show him the letter,
I hope I am not interrupting
and then he should just curse him now.
Cradle robber, despoiler of innocence.
Perhaps this is a bad time.
I curse you.
No!
Whatever.
You've ruined my life!
You'll survive.
Yeah? Survive this!
There we go, we got Doppelfluch, or Fluch. Pretty sure it means double curse in German.
The whole scene hex.
Alright, great. That's all I needed from here. That took an incredible amount of effort relative to the payoff, which seems to be the trend for the trophies in Season 3. Let's move on to Episode 3. This one I don't think is so bad, but then again, I think this has the same issue as the first one, doesn't it? In this one, you have to use the rhinoplasty on every possible thing in the chapter, which I feel like uses a similar counter where, like, if you skip ahead, then you lose the progress you had before. Like, you have to do it all in one run. Okay, what is the way I want to do this? Achievements in general are tedious or unthought out. I think that's largely true. I certainly think some games are more conscious of it than others, or at least manage to, like, accidentally consider things that, like, they probably wouldn't want to do. I just think there's something interesting to me about the fact that, like, even factoring in how miserable the driving minigames are, like, as a category in Season 2, I feel like both Season 1 and Season 2 are pretty reasonable overall in terms of executing trophies, and then Season 3 is, like, inexplicably, like, way worse in terms of these. When I was first looking over these to sort of get a sense of how annoying this would be, I kind of, on some level, assumed that you could, like, hop around and just, like, trigger all of these things in a single playthrough. And that would be fine, but, like, you literally have to play start to finish or it just, like, forgets that you did them. So... Okay, here's what I think it will do. I think we're gonna get the one that is associated with Episode 5. However, that trophy doesn't take place in Episode 5. It uses a subtle piece of information given to you in the final credits of Episode 5 at the end of the chapter to allow you to do something back in episode 1, allegedly chapter 3. You have to follow a surprisingly complicated looking series of steps. So steal from display case. Am I looking at the right one? Episode 1, chapter 3. That is what we've done, isn't it? Where is the display case? Downstairs? Yes, it is the
Ship is
phone.
secure. Hello, Sam.
Too late.
This may come.
No.
Don't worry.
Right.
That's fine. I don't want to have this conversation. Steal from display case.
Max,
Absorb the phone.
Like the
you can go too.
Use the phone. Go to Stinky Cell. There's so many Hindenburg references in this season. I don't know why that's true. I think this is 3, because I think I counted 2 without noticing this.
traveling through Max's brain. Keep your eyes shut.
Also, probably shouldn't release his head when relying on psychic powers that mandate physical touch to be contained. So travel to the cell, use the cell phone, walk left.
It's Stinky's cell phone, but why would she have left it behind?
Especially since she's got 18 months left on her contract.
Either there was some kind of struggle, or it was left here for us to find and...
I've got it! She waived her early cancellation fees with a recommended device up.
So now we know two things. You're an idiot, and this phone is going to lead us directly to General Skunky.
Okay, investigate keypad. So what you do here is you input the numbers that Max entered, I think it's Max, entered into the time elevator in the credits, in the sort of like post-credit scene at the end of the season. So like the credits for chapter 5. And that involves... Let's see, that is 4, 3, 1, 6, 2. These cracked you up. A photo of Sam wearing some interesting glasses. So put in the number, pick up the screwdriver. That's a big popsicle on the right there. So I think the screwdriver is an allusion to last season when we like sent a version of ourselves away in the time elevator in chapter 4. I don't think I ever really put together that maybe that's the implication why there's like the second Max running around. It's all very complicated and timey-wimey, so very appropriate for us to have picked up the screwdriver. Okay, so now I need to use teleportation to go to the cops. And now I use that screwdriver I got from that ridiculously convoluted series of events to open this sewer grate. Or to stab an apple. And then... Well... It says I'm supposed to put the apple in the scanner, but I don't have the scanner at this checkpoint the game directed me to use. So that seems like a little bit of an issue. Walkthrough doing wonders for me so far. Really didn't want this to be a 3-part series, but we're getting real hung up here. Let's see. Remember when you get the scanner. Where you get the scanner. Or like how you get the scanner. Is it like just in the sewer? Trying to skim over this without just like reading top to bottom this vague thing. Or why to get the scanner? Yeah, that's at least partially unclear. So I think the scanner is in the pile of junk over there. But I'd have to do like most of the cake. Okay. So it wouldn't take that much. I don't think it would take too much effort to recreate getting the screwdriver if I absolutely had to. So I think what I'm gonna do is... I just had a weird thought. Okay. For now, let's focus on... To get to Mista Pizza, we need to have the scanner. So even though that's one chapter ahead, that should be enough. Not the button. Okay. So it doesn't remember me having the screwdriver. So... let's recreate those steps. That shouldn't be too bad. Unless getting here requires Stinky's phone to be somewhere else? Oh, it does. So then the only way to do this? Okay. There's two things that we can try, but they both require recreating the steps of what we just did, which is very annoying. So either way, you have to go, you specifically have to do Chapter 3. Hey, letter's taken for the raid. So, hope you're doing well. We've been drafting some magic tonight, or were you up to something different? Currently, we are trying to complete all the achievements for the Sam & Max games that we've been playing recently on stream, because I thought that'd be a good idea, and then I reached this point where the last season has like these really hopelessly involved retrace all your steps, basically replay every single chapter in its entirety to succeed. Ooh, drafted Foundations. I mean, I haven't drafted any Magic set in a long time, but I'm really excited about Foundations in general. I love a good core set, and Foundation seems like a good core set. I hope you've been having fun. So, let's do the garbage, and then... There just seems to be a real problem with, like, these instructions assume that I've done something that happens later in the game that doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's a core set that has like a new Platinum Angel that you can play at flash speed, which I think is exciting. But your mileage may vary. You may evaluate cards more better than I do. Yeah, I like, not only do I think core sets are good for onboarding new players to Magic the Gathering, I also, like, personally, I just like a medium to low level draft environment. Like, I've been working on a, just like card flavored cube for a while now. It's a difficult process because you can't really look up mechanics. You have to just like scour a Magic card database and be like, that is a very flavorful card. It will go in the cube. Okay, so go to Stinky's phone. Again, a not entirely skippable cutscene. Parts of it are. I can advance the dialogue when it's happening. For those of you who've just joined us, we have already played through these chapters. We're trying to accomplish certain achievement-related goals without having to replay the entire chapters. It isn't, by my description, going very well. It's going not very well. But that is in keeping with my day, my week, my month, and even my year.
Either there was some. So now we know.
So investigate keypad. Put that number in again in like the weirdest, most confusing way possible. I wonder what the significance of this number is. April 31st, 1962. Sorry, 2024 has not been treating you well. At least it's almost over. Yeah, unfortunately, I have a lot to do in December, so the ticking clock is like also really stressful for the moment. Really hoping 2025 improves somewhat, but there are some relatively current events that make that not an entirely promising endeavor. But, you know, only time will tell. Okay, so we used the code from the time machine in a game we haven't played yet to get the screwdriver. So, the game's strict instructions now tell us to teleport to Cops, get the apple from the sewer, and then do something that's impossible. So the shortest point to there is probably like, go there, have an apple. I want to do a manual save. I don't think that will change the dynamics on like whether items are retained. But I feel like there's a chance that does what I want it to do, so like I just feel like I should do that regardless. But then I guess we should just follow the steps of the normal walkthrough until we get the scanner, which it thinks we should already have, even though like we definitely don't. Is it saying that... Where do you think the scanner comes from? Not a helpful place to start looking for that. Oh, that's so extremely annoying. The literal only places on this entire walkthrough it mentions the scanner. How would I have upper deck, use demon broth with brain, power cord with brain, jumper cables with brain. That starts up the brain. So that all leads us to here. So secret button, secret passage, city map. Here's a thought. If I have to replay this chapter to do this, could I then also still get all of the SAM scans and at least kill 2 birds with 1 stone? I think that's possible. I don't think any locations are off limits at this point. I can certainly try. Trying is the first step to failing or not liking the thing. But sometimes it succeeds, I don't know.
I can't use these 2 things together.
I really need to get a partner with a more interesting future.
I can't use these 2 things together.
I don't know if that counts, because it's a different scan than we got before. Also, that's a line of dialogue from The Dig. I mean, it's a relatively common genre of thing for adventure game character to say, but that's something that Boston Lowe specifically says that I don't know that any other adventure game character has specifically said in exactly that way, which is interesting. So I think this is my current objective for the remainder of this stream, is to see if I can do a playthrough of this game starting at section 3 and accomplish my goals. Now, will it work? Probably no. It's not like today is going like especially super good. So the generosity of the universe feels like,
Jeez,
I don't know, winky
Stinky,
frown?
we just thought you could stand to get out of the diner once in a while.
You're welcome.
So you get back on the ship. Let's close this. I don't know why I left it open. Now I want street ship diner. So do the ship, then we can go down that list and just try to power through, skipping many dialogues, and see if we can accomplish 2 extremely tedious challenges together, which would be a positive, perhaps. Cool. Can't use Max while I have him airborne. Use future on Sam.
I'm not gonna rest until I find the guy who killed my partner.
Killed your partner? Is there something you're not telling me?
Must be ominous foreshadowing, pal. Whatever the case, I'm gonna sound really cool in the future.
Interesting. These are all like slightly different than before. I didn't realize that was like a thing you could do. So we got to do Subway and Bosco, and then we can advance the plot. And then if we just do it all together all at once, then we can theoretically get 2 trophies this way. It's called efficiency, but asterisk red misery. So do Subway, Bosco, then like figure out exactly where we are in the walkthrough and how to get the scanner that we don't currently have. This is definitely a detriment to jumping around in this way, but it's also a relatively unique problem, I think, to an episodic game, of which there are fairly few. Where's my Sam at? Boom, 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 boom. Where my Sam at?
Well, now I just want to know how we get over there.
Me too. Knowing us, it's probably something clever but overly complicated.
Okay, teleport me over to Bosco Tech. Do these out of order. Do inside then outside. Because the order shouldn't matter. Oh.
Hey, you guys can't do that to me.
Looks to me like we...
At least give me back my sidekick.
You'll get the rabbit once Jerome's done working him over.
Now, the scan doesn't help if it's not Sam. I did this wrong. There's like an actual solution to this. It's fine. This just means I can do these in order. So they're gonna like dump us out onto the street. And then they'll stop caring. And then I can see Sam's future. And then I can go back inside. And then I can control Sam to solve the puzzle. Oh, sweet fish tie. I bet it smells terrible.
That knocked him out cold.
Do it again! Do it again!
Alright, so that's a scan. No, I do need to do... I need to teleport into the building where I don't get to do the thing. Unclear if this is actually the next step because I'm consulting like 3 different points of this walkthrough at the same time. It's called multitasking. Asterisk red misery.
No.
No ticket. So I should get control of Sam, and then I walk him up to the roof and walk out onto the precariously placed flagpole, and then I teleport to the phone that Sam has in his pocket. And we kill 2 gorillas with 1 call, which is the same thing that we were attempting to do with the trophies in this chapter, kind of, sort of. This pigeon doesn't give a crap. Look how little crap he gives. Okay, go ahead and call Stinky's phone in my pocket. We marry the pigeon yet? No, I mean, unfortunately, Sam and Max don't appear to be into polyamory, even though I think the pigeon would be a good fit for them. Did I get that pigeon to give me the ring? There's so much crap in this particular chapter, I don't remember.
Hand over the shiny thing and nobody has to get hurt. Hey, careful.
Okay, it's as simple as that. I basically asked for it. As long as it's not a girl. Max doesn't even like girls. That's true. And we went to great lengths to make him unattractive to girls in the last season with time travel. Some of us don't have to try that hard.
Sam, this is all so sudden. I don't know what to say.
Quiet, bonehead. I've got a feeling Skunk Ape picked it up while he was out looking for toys. Oh, there's an engraving. Hard luck. Classy.
Okay, so we're just going to set aside the fact that it's telling me to do the scanner now. I do still possess the apple and the screwdriver. So I'm supposed to go talk to Grandpa Stinky. I guess. I guess that's what we're doing. Oh no, I need to... I already did the outside scan. I have to do the inside scan. And then I'll go talk to Grandpa Stinky. You wish to romance pigeons. Well, Sarah, have I got good news for you, because there is a game perfect for your current mood. It's called Hatterful Boyfriend.
It's a torn
I assume you've played it many times.
Skunk Ape must have dropped it when he came through here.
A clue! Which store?
Can't tell from half a receipt, little buddy. If only we had some way to piece all these clues together.
Maybe you'll remember, it's been, like, I did not finish playing Hatterful Boyfriend because I was playing it on stream, and at a certain point the redundancy got, wait, I have the scanner. Did I always have the scanner? Look, whatever, it's fine. Let's just continue on our plan. It was a plan that makes sense, and we all just are going to ignore how stupid I am. It's the social contract. We've all agreed no one cannot do
a
it.
Spike in antimatter radiation, so I locked onto the signal from your homing beacon and reversed the polarity of the dimensional stabilization field to intercept.
Yeah. Just tell us how we can get back at Skunk Ape for crimes against the freelance police and humanity.
Can we romance Grandpa Stinky? No. We can ruin Girl Stinky's romance at a certain point, but I don't think that's what you want. So teleport to cops, put scanner in car, then do the thing listed here. You want to adventure game the ring into every person? I wonder how many people it lets you do that to.
I'm not ready to commit.
Okay, check out DeSoto. Play scanner. With one of the cops?
For a fourth member?
Well, hello there, beautiful. Were your moving parts properly secured when you fell from heaven?
Bleep bloop.
Do not forget our seminar on workplace harassment.
When exactly did this get really creepy?
Thank you for joining us in a brand new style.
When exactly did this get really creepy could be a sound like. Oh, I need someone to like go back through all the videos from this year's journey through Sam and Max and pinpoint the good sound effects.
It looks
Okay.
like
Yeah, I'm trying to do that.
place any of a piece of. If we cannot.
Okay. Apparently no was the correct answer because I didn't want this to happen. Okay. So I should take both of my mysterious items that I shouldn't have and put them in the scanner at the same time. And this should open an impossible location that shouldn't exist. Look how far away. Look, a mysterious alley.
We have pinpointed the location of the new toy on your map. You are welcome.
Well, that's funny. It uses stock dialogue. Yeah, why don't we go to that mysterious alley that's not close? Dive into
I wonder
dumpster.
what's in that dumpster.
Sam, if you want me to dive into that dumpster, just ask. Don't go all passive-aggressive on me. Hikiba!
What did you find, you filthy wretch?
I give you the Nutraspecs!
Nutraspecs? What do they do?
They shoot bullets really, really fast.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, Sam. In fact, I seem to have acquired the ability to scan the ingredients of foods, people, and arbitrarily selected items.
Keen.
Oh, Sam, you
Keen.
should really cut down on the seal jerky. Your phosphate levels are through the roof.
That's a swell power, Max. And who knows what other sorts of amusing and quasi-useful information we'll glean from those Nutraspecs.
Glean? This isn't France, Sam.
He said like 3 weird words, and Glean is the only one he responded to. Yeah, so that is the item that you get for using the code from the end of the chapter. It's like an optional item that lets you scan stuff. I've never used these before. I guess, much like scanning the future, it will let me know where I can use it. And in this alley, the answer is not many places.
Oh, Sam, you should really cut down on the seal jerky. Your phosphate levels are through the roof.
Boy, the scan itself is not informative, huh?
You wouldn't expect a fire hydrant to have so much kerosene.
Maybe you wouldn't.
Now, what I don't know is, like, do you get to keep those in the later chapters after
Why use a
unlocking
trash
it?
can when the pavement will do?
Why use a trash can when the pavement will do? Such a good point. Very good question. Okay, so we've done this. Okay. We don't actually go straight to Grandpa Stinky. I skimmed too hard. This will surprise no one. So let's drive to home. And we're just going to skip lots of dialogue. I have no hope of accomplishing this task tonight, and yet I will try. So I have to go on the ship, go in the Mole Man room, get trapped there, then leave. So go up. So go up. Go in the mole processing
You
chamber.
want to go into the Besides, it's
Perfect!
odd.
There were rituals.
Very well.
Welcome.
Is this something, an edit of, like, movies or something, where you just only take the first word of each line of dialogue and cut the whole movie down to that and see what that sounds like?
Why aren't
You'll feel a
slight tingle?
There's all my items.
error. Cannot remove inventory.
Damn business, computer.
Very well.
Sam, why is...
For the comfort of guests,
You smell something.
Sam?
enjoy the rest.
Sacrifice?
We going to die?
Depends on whether we can think of...
Use something that doesn't require inventory. Hold on. Let me scan this room for nutritional information. No nutritional information available. Very sad. Instead, use teleportation in the form of a phone to call the diner in the form of Stinky's face. Now I talk to Grandpa Stinky. And we tell him that we love Skunk Ape. And then, if I remember correctly, this causes him and Max to have a physical fight, which allows me to teleport all of us into the sweat chamber.
It is pretty cool.
Check it out, buddy. Love Skunk
A
Ape.
sudden change of heart. We think Skunk Ape is awesome.
Where do we sign up?
You two.
We're really good.
Why can't...
Start it.
Now that's just...
As for...
You may...
So
better
like
get out of
leave and then switch to Max and then hang on, can I check his nutritional information?
As a certified coffee achiever, I demand to know what's in Grandpa Stinky's crummy coffee.
Looks like nothing but coffee.
What, no gym socks? No squid ink? No exotic subatomic particles?
Nope.
I don't know if the Coffee Achiever line is like straight from Sam and Max comics or something, but I know it's referenced in Sam and Max Hit the Road. I could check this whole room, but now seems like a really lousy time to do that. Let's teleport into Girl Stinky's cell phone, which is currently still in the like inventory pouch in the sweat chamber. It's fine, we can go back and check for nutritional information after we've done the like time-sensitive, annoying thing I don't want to set up again.
Welcome back. You'll feel us.
No one's taken.
For the comfort.
Abort.
Voice
It's a needlessly hot room. Okay, so we've done that. We retrieve our stuff. And then it wants us to do the Vasco stuff, which we already had to do to get this far, which is fine. You give him my stuff back, including his badge. We'll need that later, obviously. Actually, just for you, Sarah, let's just teleport straight to Stinky's Diner and see if there's anything else I could check the nutrition on. It is a diner, after all. Mostly devoid of nutrition, but that doesn't mean we can't check. Hey, I wonder if you could check the nutrition of Pudding Lincoln in the sewer. That feels like an actual plausible thing, right?
This half-eaten bagel nut is actually made of pork, red dye, and children's glue.
Ooh, unhealthy
What is-
and unkosher.
The distinction of children's
Vanilla,
glue.
ice cream, and yak milk?
No wonder I always want a yak after drinking one of these.
I don't think that's what that means in this context.
Algae, fish poop, rust? Yep, this tank is 100% fish-free.
So what have we been eating here every Friday?
Judging from the elevated levels of hair gel, gold chains, and pinky rings in this pie, I think we can finally close the case of Lester the Lisping Loan Shark.
Godspeed, Lester!
Oh, what an insane observation. That looks like everything in here. The sign above the door says "Eat again soon." It doesn't say like "come again." Finally got your shiny. You've been hunting in Koromon, a Pokemon clone. That's exciting anime. I've not heard of this. Is this a like ROM hack or like a fan project or something? Okay, so I did a scan of Sam and everything up into the locations that I have to check with the scanner. So now I want to go... Oh, I want to go in the subway to check the pudding Lincoln. This feels relevant to my interests. It's a game on Steam and also has a really a full Steam game. Interesting. I should switch to nutrition goggles. They do nothing of relevance. So no hitboxes there. Yep, I can check the pudding Lincoln.
According to your spooky nutritional label, this Abe Lincoln head is almost entirely comprised of low-fat banana pudding.
Almost?
Well, it's 99% pudding and 1% cardboard.
Oh, I bet it's a secret toy surprise.
That's why Kinder Eggs were banned in the US for so long. Kind of.
Looks like I owe you $5.
Why?
It turns out that Bosco's gumballs really were made entirely out of medical waste.
That's right, Sarah. 99% banana pudding in the shape of a giant Abraham Lincoln head. Like, what more could you ask for, is my real question. Let's go back to Bosco Tech. It's another company's attempt in the monster tamer genre. Like, how clone is clone? Do you have, like, not Pokeballs? Actually, while we're here, I don't know what parts of this room might be scannable with these glasses, but it's kind of a nuisance to get them. Might as well use them. Oh, sweet spiderweb?
Flies, mosquitoes, fingernails. Fingernails?
That's one tough spider.
I actually quite like these glasses. They feel like a very Sam and Max type of conceit. You just look at things and make, like, insane off-the-cuff observations. For a second I thought the chandelier was scannable with this thing. Oh, I can scan Mama Bosco. That's upsetting.
Mama Bosco's ghost is made of ionized air?
Funky.
I've always wanted to know what's in this ghostly goop.
Ah.
Olives, lime flavoring, vodka. This isn't ectoplasm from beyond the veil, Max. It's a batch of lukewarm gelatin shots.
Funny, I always pictured Mama Bosco as more of a gin and tonic woman.
I scanned Sam again, just out of an abundance of caution.
I detected a spike in...
Just tell us...
Ah, we did that. Okay. Did you pick up shiny thing? Enter lab, use elevator. Pick up remote control. Okay. I don't know if there's implied dialogue to skip. Pick up remote control. Forgot that was there.
Control for your destabilizer thing, Mama Bosco?
That's the one. Make sure you don't press it before you really need to, because...
Okay, use teleportation to go to cops. Use Crimetron. What a nonsensical chapter this is. Replaying it in this way really only furthers my intense distaste for the way this convoluted chapter exists. But I do appreciate the extra layer of, like, weird useless items that are given context by the Nutrispecs. That's fun. And I guess I appreciate the fact that being forced to replay the chapter from the very point that you could gain access to them means that I'm incentivized to, like, try and get all the fun alternate dialogue that is rare. Doesn't seem like there's anything else on the street to do, but it occurred to me I hadn't given this a thorough check. So... Use the scanner. Cell phone and shot glass. I didn't get my belongings back from the spaceship, did I? I really thought I did, but I don't appear to have done that. Can you scan cops? I don't think so by nature of the way you get like a different screen to go over there. Like, I don't think there's overlap with your ability to take control of Max on that screen. I'll try to double check, but I don't think that will work. And he says the game doesn't have Pokeballs, has slightly different types and very different monster designs.
Fabulous off-road.
But it still has
vacation
shiny
center.
monster friends.
Well, that's ominous. Looks like Grandpa Stinky's stuff got mixed in with all of mine.
What has he got in his pockets?
His victory badge from...
I'm just gonna teleport to cops again. I don't have time for this. I'm kind of glad Neko's not here. I think she'd be losing her mind if we had to, if she had to witness this. Although, at the same time, I imagine she's disappointed on some spiritual level, even without context, that she is not witnessing the Nutrispects. That feels like it's up her alley. Yes, I cannot use Max on the screen, so I cannot scan the nutritional content of cops. So, what was it I needed? Shot glass and something. Stinky cell phone.
Skunkate must have been at a meet.
Yeah, I continue not to like this mechanic of just like there's no like obvious logical connection between stuff, so you just like scan random things and then the game pretends you did a thing. Okay, we're making progress. So we go to pizza. Scan Sam. I scan Sam and Max brain. That brain doesn't appear until chapter 3. At this moment in my life, I'm not 100% sure if the Nutrispects carry over to other chapters. They may or they may not. I genuinely don't know.
There's got to be some clue telling us where he went next.
So first let's do the thing we have to do, which is scan Sam. This is important. It's half the reason we're here. In fact, it's the only reason why we're still here.
A clue.
But also, while we're here, scan Flint paper.
Flint's fists are made of steel. His belly is full of booze. His lungs are a symphony of cigarette smoke and cheap perfume, and his brain is awash in regrets and revenge.
That's one damn poetic nutritional card, Sam.
Hey Max, check this out. Mista Pizza's Swamp Dish Delight has started using artificial
Swamp Dish Delight
flavoring instead of authentic Cooter Beak's
Cooter Beak?
I thought my acid reflux tasted less cootery the last time I was here.
I thought I knew what that word meant, and this game has convinced me it has at least one other meaning.
Looks like Mista Pizza's Meat Huggers Explosion has been using a particularly broad definition of meat.
Hey, lips can be meat.
That's right. Pig lips and sphincters empower us or whatever. Also, hi, Uncle, welcome to the stream. You've been sleeping. You've missed a lot of nonsense, most of it bad, but we did recently acquire a special, like, post-game item in our trophy hunt that lets us scan things for their nutritional content. Which thing in particular did you dislike, Sarah? Spend time with Pigeon. Very good. I would like to scan the nutritional content of the pigeon. Is this possible?
Lime, silica, gypsum. No wonder this poor little guy can't move. He's got more cement in his gut than the Hoover Dam.
Gypsum? You just made that up, didn't you?
It was like a almost direct quote from Sam and Max. You could try to attribute that to me, but like it's literally the thumbnail I put on the last episode of the Sam and Max series proper.
Looks like Mista Pizza's Meat Huggers explosion has been using a particularly broad definition of meat.
Oh, interesting. It's more than one hitbox to get that response. What's the best nutritional thing? Well, it turns out that the reason why Pudding Lincoln exists in episode 1 of the 3rd season is so that you can scan him and learn that he's 99% banana pudding and 1% cardboard surprise. So I feel like that best answers your question. Okay, I did a bunch of scans, including Sam. Let me look at pizza boxes without scanning their nutritional content.
What a senseless waste of perfectly soiled pizza boxes.
The boxes are the tastiest part.
Place stinky sofa on the pizza box. Right. God, there was another step for some reason, but that's fine.
Hot and delicious, dripping with rollover minutes.
So the pigeon eats the phone in its entirety.
Swallowed whole.
Hey, this kind of reminds me. Today is garbage day. And I don't mean that as a quality judgment of the day, although I think I've made it clear that it's also garbage day. But the garbage trucks in my area have this hilarious and incredibly irritating habit of just like tossing trash cans. Like when they're done with them, it feels like they launched them out of a catapult. They're just like always askew. They're never just like placed down. They're always like thrown into the grass. Does the pigeon now contain a phone? It does, and that's how it gets to the roof, because we use our cell phone teleportation to call the phone we just made it eat. And so like when I was going to get the garbage can to bring it back in, I closed the lid, and there's just like a cockroach like sitting on top of it, like staring at me, and I was like, I would like not for that to be true. So I just sort of like swiped it off the top and like out onto the street in front of my house, and then it like struggled a second, righted itself, and started like charging immediately towards my house.
And pick up that phone, Max.
And I was not cool with that. I was gonna let it go, but it was like, nah, I would like to be in your house, and I'm like, no, I'm afraid not. We are neither cute nor a couple, cockroach. I mean, its ingredients are now in the phone. Oh, I didn't have control in any of that, so I wouldn't be able to scan it, but that's a fair point. What were the pizza ingredients that upset Sarah? Actually, I don't know. I think I asked her and I missed... Oh, she just said the pizza ingredients in general. I mean... There were two... I think there's 2 pizza hitboxes.
Check this out. Mista Pizza's Swamp Dish Delight has started using artificial cooter beak flavoring instead of
probably that. Probably the cooter beak.
I thought my acid reflux tasted less cootery the last time I was here.
Looks like Mista Pizza's Meat Huggers explosion has been using a particularly broad definition of
yeah,
meat.
I imagine it was the first one and not the lips can be meat. Either that or Sarah would be very upset about the last episode of this season because the pig lips and sphincters do empower the host or whatever the exact quote is. Okay, so we did what we actually came here to do. Check out so to use Crimetron, obviously. Use postcard and something. Engagement ring and postcard. Lake Titicaca.
This postcard is from somebody who collects and sells vintage toys and family heirlooms. Skunk Ape got this ring from somewhere, but the engraving just says, hard luck.
BBD. It's weird that the scanner has like a happy chime. Like, that's not really how scanner normally works, in my opinion. Neko, I am glad that you are here because we will open another Advent Calendar Day Live. I know that's probably really confusing to anyone watching these in the future, but it just seems like a fun little addition to the end of the stream for those of you keeping track at home. I've taken a bunch of photos this week and haven't made the time to do write-ups for the Discord, so I apologize for that. It's been a bad week. Let's go to the pawn shop. We gotta scan Sam again. Can't scan him.
He's trying.
Okay, start by scanning Sam. Don't want to forget to do that. Sounds bad. I'm increasingly softening on my rage for how annoying this is, because it is a really good excuse to use the Nutrispecs, to be entirely honest. So
Oldest trick in the book.
Oldest trick in the book, right. And then we, like, scan the main whole
Totally
cover.
carry that heavy thing.
So I'm just gonna move the main whole cover first, and then we'll scan for ingredients.
This looks entirely...
Just because that's like an order of operations where like the trash cans don't work until I've done that. We learned earlier by trying to skip steps, which were not allowed to be skipped. So it's interesting you can scan Sam in like 2 different places early for nutrition info and then just never again. Seems reasonable. It's just kind of a specific weird way to do it.
65% oxygen, 18% carbon, 10% hydrogen. Well, ain't that a stitch? These alien gorillas share the same elemental composition as you and me.
Speak for yourself, Sam. I have way more bismuth than those stupid apes.
Probably true. Okay, I don't see any other nutrients to scan here. So now we rummage through the trash.
Just a bunch of food scraps and used cat litter.
Wait, what's the thing I have to scan? Oh, I scan the trash cans? That's the scan I need?
Aha!
No problem. Feel free to shout out that if I do forget to immediately scan something. Let me know. I don't want to replay this again, so let's get all them scans in there.
Ah, a banana peel.
So we did this part before. Bust out that sick banana peel. Boy, our inventory is full.
Down with skunk ape.
You guys really shouldn't be.
What's the banana peel made of? That is actually a good question.
Oldest.
I should probably have scanned that. Oh no, I can still see it. I thought it might have gotten used up. Does actually have a hitbox.
B6, vitamin C, potassium, and 82% of the recommended daily allowance of slapstick comedy.
It's a really high percentage.
Comedy is way, way past its freshness date.
That's pretty fair. Okay, now we will. I think we just go in the shop and then scan stuff, and then Robert will be your uncle, Uncle Robert. Yeah, you missed the question of the stream before, when we were doing lots of car-related challenges. What is a song that you hate irrationally beyond most people's dislike of it? The responses I got were somehow all Christmas-themed, which was interesting, but not invalid. Okay, so now we do the scanner. It's receipt and paddleball toy.
This receipt's only got part of... I can make out part of the name of the store this came...
So go to Toy Store, then scan Sam again. A ridiculously circuitous plot is almost 3/4 completed, which is to say that with this, we'll only have to do one more scan, but it does require us to basically beat the entire chapter.
How are we ever gonna find Skunk Ape, Sam? All the...
Shut up, man.
It's Mo... It's Mo...
All clues lead here.
Snowmen don't add a lot to most of the chapters they're in.
Skunk Ape will be back any second, little buddy.
Certainly not in Season 3.
What are we gonna do?
I feel like Harry Moment is more interesting in like late Season 1. But that is subjective. Alright, let's check out any nutritional effects.
Well, which toy is full of spooky psychic mojo?
I can't tell. The Nutrispecs are having a hard time seeing through all the lead paint.
That fan is blowing ghost toast. Feels like some kind of euphemism. but I don't know what it would mean. Shine like a diamond. That's a good pick. There's definitely ones like that for me that are just like overplayed to a point that I don't like them. They're not coming to mind. The one I gave before is Beyonce's Single Ladies, which, like, I don't know. I think most people are neutral on or like, but, like, man, I just never liked that song. Alright, scan Sam with the future and not the nutritional specs.
So you have
Alright, you have to do that one to
last
advance. That's
freelance
fine.
police.
So
That will
now we
make
have to
everything so much
do all of the garbage with the penal zone. And then
Uh-oh.
finally get to the end game zone and scan Sam again. And then I think we'll be good. At least being in prison on Skunkape's ship will give us a chance to perhaps nutritionally scan some more things. Like Girl Stinky, for example.
Look for no long the
Okay. Max. Do the scan. Why can't I? She has a hitbox, and for some reason I can't look at her. And it's very annoying. So I guess we start by talking to Stinky.
I never drink when I'm on a case.
Sam and Max, don't tell me Skunkape wants you guys to be his love slaves too.
You'd be surprised just how many fetishes there are that involve Sam and me.
What are you
Gross.
doing locked in here, Stinky?
I guess his first year of uni, my housemate kept playing Shine Bright Like a Diamond on loop. I could never sleep, so I snapped and killed the radio. That's impressive. Girl Stinky is made of cake. I mean, she should be, but that doesn't mean that there won't still be a fun observation when we Nutriscan her. Dialogue. Stinky.
Why aren't you out there on your throne?
Skunk Ape ship.
You. We've all.
Skunk Ape's not so bad.
I think you're being too hard on Skunk Ape.
Oh yeah?
Good heavens!
I think I should put on some clothes.
Oh yeah, he said a rude
Skunk
pick.
Ape's got a...
Name one.
Oh man, I was watching. So there's this like YouTube series on the making of like club hits from like the early 2000s. It's just like a weird YouTube mini documentary series. And apparently in the last couple of months they released one for Sandstorm by Darude, and they go into the backstory of why his artist name is Darude. And I think it's really funny. Basically, like, he started off as like a small-time DJ at his friends' parties, and like because he thought it was funny, he kept playing the same song over and over, and he like pissed his friend off, and he started referring to him as like the Rude Boy. And then like when he started getting more serious about being a DJ, he's like, yeah, I'm DJ Rude Boy. And then he like found out that there's like some genre of music somewhere that is kind of referred to as like Rude Boy music or something. And he's like, yeah, okay, so I guess I'm just like the Rude, which then like morphed over time into Da Rude as two separate words. And then when he like finally released an album under the artist name of Da Rude, the like artist who did it used the same font and smushed it together and made it look like one word. And he's like, yeah, that's good enough. Da Rude. Okay, so spaceship.
He's got his own spaceship.
I noticed.
Your cage, so he could...
But then...
Yoo-hoo!
It's implied that time has lapsed. Time is passing. Okay, now I should be able to look at her. Gotta scan that cake lady. Now she doesn't have a hitbox? But I couldn't scan her before because the cursor doesn't go far enough to the right. What kind of shenanigans are these? That's maddening. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, whatever. We do that, and then we teleport to Stinky's cell. And teleport to her cell phone, not her jail cell. That tripped me up for a second. And now his song is played over and over to complete the cycle. You know, that's so true. I didn't think of it like that, but it's a really keen observation.
Well done, freelance police.
I love Sandstorm by Darude.
The hell?
Looking for thee.
Uh-oh.
Your future viewer.
So, what was that?
I believe.
So he throws us in the penal zone, and then we teleport to, like, basically anyone, and we get intercepted by Mama Vasco. And then we get the object to make a new penal
Not
zone.
supposed to, Max. It's a whole...
Yeah, that.
Turn around, Max. Skunk Ape strapped an antimatter bomb on your back while we were out.
Jeez, what?
We gotta get out of here, Max.
That would make, like, a really annoying alarm clock. And I say that largely because of the antimatter explosion in the end. Oh, hang on. Can I scan the bomb for its nutritional information? Sadly, no. The answer is surprisingly no. I mean, what good are these Nutrispecs if they can't even tell me the nutritional content of an antimatter bomb? I mean, really? The future vision also doesn't work here, right? Well, it works on the bomb, but not Sam. Again, really just trying to make sure that since I'm going to the trouble of doing this, that we don't have to do it again. Alright, now we will teleport to anywhere. There is also a, that same, like, making of club hits of history, or I don't remember the actual name of it. But there's one for,
What just happened?
Spiller by Groovejet, which is, like, technically Sophia Spectre's breakout song.
And reverse the polarity.
Just tell...
I say...
You fail.
I wouldn't...
And we blew up...
Oh, dear.
How can I help?
Dr. Mama Boss.
Okay, dialogue, Skunky.
How are we going
with the...
Unless...
I smell a convol...
With a side order of...
Before I made the destabilizer, only problem...
There happens to...
That's up.
So exit dialogue, use rift generator. Use seems like a weird description for that, because I'm just taking it.
Vasco.
Just make sure you don't turn it on until you've got that homing beacon on General Skunkape.
So we teleport to Stinky's cell. No, I show you. Is there anything new to scan in here? I scanned this room pretty thoroughly the first time. But like Super Ball, maybe? Scan the ectoplasm. Where is Super Ball? He's in this room still, isn't he? I guess he's just not nutritious at all. Yeah, just spiderweb and ectoplasm, which I scanned before. Then Mama Vasco.
Vasco's ghost is made of ionite.
Funky!
Yeah, so if he's up there and he doesn't have his own hitbox, I guess we'll move on. Exit dialogue, use rift generator, teleport to Stinky's cell. I hit the button too many times. This is such a snack. Well played, Demolition. I think we can all agree on that. Hey, who are the most eligible, like, so, like, say you were gonna make, like, a dating sim out of the Sam and Max world, who would be, like, top draft pick for significant other?
Did you see that, my queen? Not only did I dip...
Skip more dialogue. Skip. So we automatically go up to the brain.
You'll need to get...
So he tells us to get our inventory items.
How are we supposed to stop Skunk Ape now?
I don't know. Something about a homing beacon? Okay.
So we end that dialogue. We use the homing beacon on Skunk Ape and then leave. Now I can scan Stinky. We did it, everyone.
What?
Your Nutrispecs indicate that, aside from the expected levels of snark, coffee ice cream, tar, and fish sticks, Girl Stinky is chock full of love.
You must be reading that thing wrong.
Maybe we don't have to defeat Skunk Ape after all. If your Nutrispecs are right, he'll keel over from mercury poisoning in a few years anyway.
Where's the fun in that?
Oh, Harry Mole
If I'm
Man.
reading this right, Harry's been swallowing a lot of pride over the last few months, with side dishes of shredded dreams.
Oh, look, he still contains trace amounts of hope. That's so cute.
Monster from Jurgen's lab. That's true. He is sort of designed to be the perfect human or whatever. Oh, I can scan the water bottle.
99% water, 1% icky mole man lip germs.
Ew.
I mean, they're specifically icky. They're obviously not good. I don't believe I can scan the brain, but it's worth trying. Okay, homing beacon. Homing beacon. Beacon. Let's reposition because I have weird stuff in my inventory I shouldn't have.
What? Don't you have planets to blow up or something?
Oh, she loves Sal. I mean, she does, and I think it's implied that at this point in the story she already does love Sal. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I thought maybe the implication is that Grandpa Stinky made her with love because, you know, you say that about things you bake and she's a cake.
But if I can prevent but one villain from massaging another appointment book, my sacrifice is but a small, small bacon melt to pay.
Donut button.
Hurry it up.
Max, show some respect for the
Donut button, Sam and Max. Donut button till we meet again in the plaid.
Emergency.
No! Sam and Max must somehow be responsible for this. I must find them and
Let's get more dialogue. You would love
buddy.
Sal.
Let's
I mean,
go.
Sal's got to be pretty high on the dating sim draft pick, right? He's like a super chill guy. He seems like he'd be really thoughtful. I need to go to... not here. Duck button? You mean like from Hit the Road? I mean, that one doesn't produce donuts. It's still a pretty good button, though. Okay, go to Sybil's phone. Then we should trigger the
I don't
cutscene
know. The power's out in the whole...
where, like, he starts blasting the sidewalk with Spaceship. And we lead him to knock the phone downstairs so we can get to the tunnel. Over here. Whoop, 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 whoop. What's the goofy button from Dragon Ball Z Abridged? Isn't there like a muffin button on the ship that Goku uses to get to Planet Namek? I'd rather have the donut button, but a muffin button's pretty good. It's funny that the phone is ringing to tell you that you should call the phone, because that's kind of not how phones work. Use teleportation to get to Sybil's again and enter mysterious tunnel. Actually, Neko, I feel like we should do this again just for you. I feel like you've earned it.
Well, I'll be dipped. According to your spooky nutritional label, this Abe Lincoln head is almost entirely comprised of low-fat banana pudding.
Almost?
Well, it's 99% pudding and 1% cardboard.
I'm really surprised that it would, like, maintain structural integrity. Hey, wait a minute. I missed this cup with
This
soda.
contained enough caffeine to make a family of tree sloths do the Watusi.
Gimme!
Contained is past tense, buckethead.
Is it there the whole time? Did check the gumball machine. Well, good. I'm glad we did that, because we found the soda. And now we need to... Oh, no, I just needed to switch items and wasn't thinking about it. So call Sybil's phone again, because it's now across the river Styx. It's weird that like construction mole man was like visible and hanging out here when he's like clearly not in the
I was
tunnel.
hoping we'd teleport under an immovable pile of rubble and debris. Trapped for weeks, we'd be forced to resort.
You keep coming up.
If you don't like it.
So when we scan Sam here, we should get our trophy, which hilariously is the end of what we're looking to do here and not complete the chapter, which we've almost done. Let's get Sybil's gun present. Even though we're using future knowledge, we can't do that for some ill-explained reason.
Oh, minute here. Intrude, justice, heretic.
Looks like a no.
Where is somebody?
You try.
Okay. For some reason, I feel compelled to save. It doesn't make any sense. I agree. Let's scan Sam and get this out of the way and hopefully trigger that gosh forsaken event.
Max, what's wrong with you? Max? Little buddy? Well, that didn't sound good.
Ah, that was just one of the distant future ones. We don't have to worry about it for a while.
Good. So we did get both of those trophies in this miserable run that we've done. And we managed to make, like, a good time out of it for the most part, I think. Oh boy. Scan these mole men for nutrition.
Ability, ignorance, well-founded feelings of inadequacy. Yep, those are the ingredients of a cult member, all right.
What about potential for violence?
Only trace amounts.
Must be one of those wussy pacifist cults.
Why even have a pacifist
Now I'm
cult?
a little freaked out.
Why?
According to your Nutrispecs, that box contains 90% evil, 50% chaos, and 30% childlike whimsy.
That's 170%.
That's why I'm freaked out. Whatever's in there, it has no respect for math.
Is it me? I have no respect for math. That's not really true. I just have a grudge against probability because it is unkind to me. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Enter mysterious tunnel. Get soothsayer. Pick up cable. I mean, should we bother like playing this out for a sense of satisfaction because we had to replay a really high percentage of the chapter, or are we just done? I leave that up to you. Here's the cable that I pick up.
The workers left some of the cable exposed when they...
Oop, accidentally, whatever.
Well, it's worth a shot.
You're pushing for...
Thanks.
I was waiting to see if anyone else was going to give a response, but I've gotten one response in the "we're good, let's move on," which I don't disagree with. I mean, it's like 6 more steps, but it's like 6 steps too many. I mean, the trick of the matter is... Hi, it's me, Big Vasco. Hello. I mean, I think the way this works is that, like, there's probably, regrettably, enough trophy content that, like, it would definitely make more sense to do another stream of this rather oh, you know what we can do, though? We'll do one thing. I'm gonna save again, and then we're gonna go to the main menu, and then I'm gonna go to, like, literally any other episode, and just, like, see if the Nutrispecs exist on other games. Or if they're, like, only coded for the first one. I don't know. Continue from wherever I left off. I don't care.
Keep working at it.
That's a bummer. I really had hoped that they would be available in the others, but I guess at the same time, it justifies me not replaying the entire season, which is probably for the best. Anyway, with that in mind, I do think that we made pretty darn good use of the Nutrispecs, and I think we managed to make lemonade out of a molehill by using the opportunity of having to replay the first chapter to get Soothsayer as like a reason to explore some more fun, rare optional dialogue or whatever. So, I don't know. I feel like this was a relatively successful stream, despite the struggle to navigate this and the discovery that it's not extremely user-friendly. But That leaves us with... We did episodes 1, 2, and 5. So it leaves us with 3... Yeah, 3 and 4. 4 I don't think is hard. 3 I think might also require replaying that entire chapter if I take a closer look at it. So honestly, I think that might be the docket for tomorrow, and then it might just be a short stream because of how bad the week has been. Like I said earlier, you know, part of my plan is like maybe just like work for no pay to try and like make the life less stressful. So like any extra time I could get would be cool. I'm not trying to shortchange you. Like I could have just like canceled one of these streams, but it's like, no, I kind of just want to like focus on this task, and then we'll see. I have an idea of something I'd like to do for like one of next week's streams. Maybe do it on Friday, because then I can like set up for Sunday. We'll talk about it. I mean, I think also, assuming that tomorrow is like a relatively short stream, I think we can spend some time talking about stuff we might like to do for next year. You know, I have some general ideas, but I haven't really nailed down something that like calls to me as like a big obvious thing to do. Yeah, we'll call that there for the stream. Which is the Santa you were commenting on? Oh, that's your guest demolition. I assume you mean Secret Santa. Shh. Oh no, you like Santa Poo. Very good. There are you know, this is a hazard of the season, is that I really like things with Santa hats on them, much like I like things that have jack-o'-lantern faces. So like when it comes to decorate for the season, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I guess in the scheme of things, I don't actually have that many things with Santa hats on. I do. This was one of the new Squishmallows from this week, was avocado with a Santa hat on, which is cuter than I thought it'd be. Boop. Also a really good one from this week, hot chocolate mug. This guy's adorable. Really like the hot chocolate mug. I don't know why, he makes me really happy. And on that note, just to buy a little more time for anyone interested in making a last minute secret Squirtle guess, it's the big box of Squishmallows. It's my advent calendar. So tomorrow/today is the 14th, because today/yesterday was Friday the 13th. So it's Saturday. So the way these are supposed to work, I don't know if this will show up good at all. You're kind of supposed to be able to punch out this little tab and then like pop the thing open. Like half of these, like the tab doesn't break, so you just kind of like mash the box in. This has already happened for day 14. Okay, now I fixed it. Okay, what is this? Is this a bat? What is this? No, hey, what do you think? What do you think this is? I think this is the first one that hasn't been like immediately apparent. It has wings. It's got like a hairy tail. Owl? Yeah, maybe it's like a snow owl. That's a good guess. The tail seems a little weird for that, but like maybe. Does the tag tell me anything? It's so small. Whoosh, that's the sound of Dwayne cutting through the ice rink with his triple axle. When Dwayne really wants to dazzle the judges at competitions, he uses his wings to lift off over the ice. Dwayne ice skates year-round and hopes to one day turn it into his full-time career. One, that sounds like a weird Pokedex entry of someone's life story. Two, Squishmallow tags are notorious, in my opinion, for not giving any insight as to what the animal is if you can't already tell. It's definitely not like a Beanie Baby tag, which would like help you out. Wait, is right. Yeah, that's my sense too. Is like the tail makes me think bat, but like I feel like owl is like a good guess and that it makes sense. I don't know. He's quirky and weird, but I do think he's cute. Dwayne is sort of just Dwayne, I guess. Anyway, there you go. That's day 14. That was louder than I intended. All right, let's put the big box away until tomorrow. We'll show off another one then. Let's check out those guesses. You had a few of them, right? Santa Poo. Max is a good backup guess now that you see her. Max? Do you mean Riggs from Cobalt Core? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I lose retention of most of the character names if I'm not consciously engaged with them, despite liking Cobalt Core. Pooh Max Snoopy. Great. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm going to do it in reverse order for dramatic effects. To reveal your first pick last. Keep you in suspense. So here's our Santa Snoopy. His proportions are a little silly, but he's a good boy. Hiding back there, we got a little gingerbread man, little palm-sized squishmallow. For fun, I took a couple of the mini advent squishmallows and like sprinkled them around. So I put the Santa octopus and a little snowman back there just for fun. Riggs with her festive boba tea and gun. Hiding a Squirtle friend. And lastly, Santa Poo. Santa Poo. Does that read at all? What if we remove another one? Does that read at all? Let's move another one. This big Squirtle. It's a big Squirtle. Big. Actually physically challenged. Look, kind of blends in with my shirt. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I know this was a little bit of a mess. I felt really prepared. And then I went into it and made the discovery that I would not be able to skip around through chapters. And boy, does that make this specific task more difficult. But on the bright side, we did complete the DeSoto challenges, which are like certainly the most skill intensive. And yeah, those I wasn't sure we'd get them done, but we did. And I am really glad that back in the day we did the whack-a-rat, because that really sucked to do. That might even be worse than like the worst of the. Oh, my desktop is doing something really bad. Let's call it quits now before something breaks, huh? We've sure tempted fate by having a moderately successful stream. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. Take care of yourselves in the meantime. And remember that you are Classum.